Hello! How's it going, y'all? Let me turn it on. It was already on. There we go. Ah. Okay. It's time to figure out what the fuck is going on Aldas. So right now we have a general idea of what the main quest line can be. However, personally, I've been thinking about it a lot. Having this be, main quest line just feels like the Civil War 2.0. And I don't want my work to be completely derivative, So, while the Lich idea was cool, I didn't feel like that was a compelling, overarching story. What I'm thinking now is a character-driven story, is usually what I go for anyway, rather than faction-driven, as it is now. But we're gonna write up a few different ideas, we've got different plot lines, different things that could happen, and we can pick one or all of those to turn into quest lines on Aldas. So, we do have to figure out first, what are we gonna do? So, we do have a plot generator here. We just generate situations, but this is kind of like a novel type of deal, which is generally not the way to go. Well, you can go with more of a novel plot, but I don't want to go novel plot. Because novel plots are, well, they're eh. So, what are we thinking? How's everybody doing out there today, by the way? Oh, Cap Daff is live? When I went live? Well, of course he's live when as soon as I go live. Oh well. So we have to figure something out. And I've thought a lot. I like to change my stuff around a lot because I'm a dungeon master for D&D. So my plot lines are never completely solid. They never stay the same as we go through. So I have been thinking, as I've said several times now, about what we can do. The Lich line, I've decided to make a character storyline rather than the main storyline. Although still continuing on with that might not be a bad idea. Or we could just write, instead of a main quest line thing, we can just write some small quest line as well. So Bastion is a nice little character. He's got his own little quest line and all that right now. Let's view our... Why is that never up? It's horrible. Or Welcome Construct quest line. So that's the this is the Lich quest line. We have a side quest, a couple of these quest lines. I'm actually allowing the other writers to do the Werewolf Shadow War and how that will be going in the end. Right now, what's compelling? What's a good reason to get the player to the island, aside from just hearing about an island to the north? What's a compelling storyline once you're on that island to keep you there? The hiring of mercenaries is still certainly it's certainly going to be part of the main storyline, so it still has to do something like that. Like this right now still is a pretty solid questline, not gonna lie. The whole revolution right now could probably be settled in one or two quests, and instead of like a whole quest line, it's like a couple of quests tops. Hmm. Where's the ESO ones? There it is. Okay. Do I have a tabletop resource to this? I don't know if this is a plot generator. It's got random dungeon generators, which is cool. Quests. Perfect. So. Kill a demon. Could be interesting. Could have it be related to a Daedra god. That actually could work. So that's kind of what Bastion's is, almost. Wrong information. Quest is a trap. Hunt down and capture the legendary thief. Could be interesting. I want the quest line to not be a linear quest line. I want there to be options. I want there to be different ways for it to go down. So catching a thief could be an interesting way to go. And instead of there being a bunch of mercenaries hired to come to the island and turn down the music, so there being a bunch of mercenaries hired to help solve a problem, maybe there's only a few bounty hunters, a select few, like 5 or 6, that have bid on this job and are now being told how to do it. You know, that now they have to take initiative on their job to find a legendary thief. The Grey Fox, as it would be called. You know, it's something like the Grey Fox level. Not the actual Grey Fox. I don't think the Grey Fox has a quest line in Skyrim, off the top of my head, but I might be wrong. A Vampire Knight could be interesting. A Wraith. We could go with this, something like the Far Harbor, where someone's lost, you know, the fate of his daughter, lost in the Sea of Nike. Could do something like that. I feel like having Bastion Rennick being a large part of that quest line is going to be kind of the direction I want to go with that. Right now, this kind of works. It does focus along Bastion and his quest. But the player needs to have an incentive to go to Last Shore, aside from, hey, there's a new land to go explore, you know? I want to make it so the player's character would have a reason to go there, more than just the player. Because if you just have a player reason, it's kind of, meh. Like with Dragonborn, I haven't played through Dragonborn. I haven't played through Dawnguard. I actually haven't played through most of Skyrim, to be completely honest. So, I probably should do that one of these days. Maybe on stream. Regardless, I want there to be some good reason for a player to want to go to Aldas and Last Shore and to go along the Orichalcum and Constructs quest line, because this is going to be the main quest. So I'm going to copy this over. That's the main quest line. East Empire Trading Company and the Delvers will be a side thing instead of being like the big bad quest line. It'll be a side quest line. No, I've never played ESO, but I kind of want to. Bounty of 25,000 gold pieces. This is a good quest line. But... okay, maybe instead of the East Empire Trading Company offering a giant bounty to do it, it'll be something else. This is a nice quest line, but it will not be the reason you go to Last Shore. So this is Orichalcum Constructs. The reason to go to Last Shore. What is the Thieves Guild questline? That wraps itself up nicely, if I recall. Let's look it up. Thieves Guild. A lot of advantages. "12 quests in this quest line. Help teach a merchant, collect some debts, send a message to a former client, put a person out of business, get information, track down the Dunmer behind the guild's misfortunes, help translate the journal, break into his house, search for clues, become one of the Nightingales, stop Mercer, walk the path and return a key." Interesting. So I want there to be at least 6 quests in the main quest line. The faction quest lines, I believe, have the longest. There's 12 in the Thieves Guild. UASP. 14 in the Dark Brotherhood, which doesn't include contracts. Oh, this is the ancient armor. So Dark Brotherhood. Companions. I believe all the quest lines have between 10 and 14. That's not good. USP. No, USP. Here, it's the second one. 6? That's only 6. Okay. UASP. Of course, it's got faction. That's the problem. 9 quests. Okay. So 6 to 14, depending on how many we want. I'm gonna say we want writing quest lines. New document. I'm gonna say at least 6 quests. Nope. Quest line of Aldas, Steel, and Snow will feature between 6 and 9 quests. 6 and 9 quests, minimum. Okay, so this is our scope. Is between 6 and 9 quests. Quest line outline. Why? Okay, is there a setting so I can make it so the default is always to be with that? That'd be great. Quest line outline. So we go with numbers. What's the first quest? Get aboard a ship. Go to go to Last Shore. Meet up with your contact. Meet up with the contact. So let's decide. So what's the idea? I'm thinking the hunting someone down and finding them would be interesting. You know, maybe they are a killer or something like that, and you're going to be competing against other bounty hunters to do the job. So if you don't do it, you know, once you get the handbill, you'll have probably a month in game time to get to Last Shore before the first quest is you can't, you know, you fail. Or as soon as you go to Last Shore, then the timers start once you've been given the job. Scope. The idea. Concept. You and 2 to 4 other bounty hunters are competing to finish a job before the other. For a massive payout. Payout of 20,000 septims. That's good. You know, it's a good start. 2 to 4 other bounty hunters are competing to finish the job before the other for a massive payout of 20,000 septims. That's one concept. Hired by a Breton noble. Track down and return his daughter to him safely. Last he heard, his daughter boarded a ship to Last Shore a few days ago. I kind of like that second one, though that's very Far Harbor, but I'm fine with that. Two ideas so far. The player's going to be hired no matter what. You are hired to... You are hired by a high elven researcher who found a Dwemer ruin on the island of Aldas to the north. You will delve into and help clear out this ruin for the purposes... Hey, Sue. Hey, SSX.
Hello.
Hello, Lord bitches.
Hello, Lord bitches. How are you doing today? You'll delve into and help clear out the ruin for the
Do I have
researchers.
No. Where do I?
What?
I had some.
I'm doing Final Fantasy. I'm playing Final Fantasy 14.
Oh.
I need to unlock a dungeon so I can grind for an item and get 80k for free.
Right on. What were you saying, SSX?
I had somebody from my clan from Battlefield saying, "Hey guys, no." He messaged me because I was online. He's just like, "Hey, you want to play Battlefield? Battlefield 5?" And I'm just like,
Nope.
"Dude, I may suck dick, but I ain't gay."
Fair? I'm not sure what you're trying to say with that one, but okay.
It's a joke. A lot of people in our group hate Battlefield 5, and
Yeah, so right now I'm concepting the actual main quest line for Aldas. Is I decided that the Orichalcum Constructs one is going to be a faction/character quest line instead. Hey, Double OC, how you doing, friend? So we've got 3 ideas right now, all of which involve the player being hired to go to the island. Right now, The player and 2 to 4 other bounty hunters are competing to finish a job to probably track someone down and bring them in before the others, before a massive payout of like 20,000 septims. Hired by a Breton noble to track down and return his daughter to him safely. Last you heard, his daughter boarded a ship to Lashore a few days ago. Very far harbor. And then you are hired by a high elven researcher who found a Dwemer ruin on the island of Aldas to the north. You delve into and help clear out the ruin for the researchers. Doing fairly well, OC. Which one do you like so far, or do you have another idea? And that last one would tie in to Bastion's quest line as well and bring him as part of the core. A lot of this is rescue or kill or hunt down or retrieve. Oh, I like 9, destroying an evil artifact. Hired to destroy an evil artifact. Would be interesting. How does the questline for Dragonborn actually start?
You get dragged off to a shit island somewhere.
That's literally it. You just get dragged off.
Basically, I mean, you basically get attacked by a bunch of shitheads in
Yeah,
a
the
bunch
cultists.
of gowns, and then you go, and then you get like a note from them, and it's just like go to or go to Windhelm, and then you go to Windhelm, and then it's like you get dragged off. You talk to a guy, you get dragged off to an island, and it's just like there's a problem here, you shouldn't go, and then it's just like too bad, and it's just like all right.
Yeah, OC would be something like a Daedric artifact, but I'm thinking something like, oh, you buy the bow, right? I'm honestly thinking it would be kind of cool to have something related to Jagar Tharn, and his little thing he did with how he trapped the Emperor. I don't know what he trapped him in. Like, it could be involved with some of the older games and bringing in those storylines. Set in the Iliac Bay. Staff of Chaos, thank you. Player is sent here at the personal request of the Emperor. He wants the player to do 2 things. Free the ghost of King Lysandus from his earthly shackles, and discover what happened to a letter from the Emperor to the former Queen. Oh, this is oh my god. Of course, Daggerfall's plotline is related to Numidium. The key to resurrecting the first Numidium. Emperor wants his spy to force Nulfaga to revealing it so the Blades can finish the reconstruction of Numidium.
Wait, is this from the wiki or
This is Daggerfall.
No.
Yeah, it's from the wiki. Gort Warg. That is the best name for an orc. His name is Gort Warg. Not knowing what the Mentella is, consults Metamarco, King of Worms. During this time, the Underking, who originally destroyed it, is recuperating deep within a tomb of High Rock after expending so much energy destroying it the first time. Player must kill the king's murderer and put his ghost to rest, then steal the totem of Tyra Septim from King Gothred of the Daggerfall and free the Mentella. 6 endings. Interesting.
I mean, that's what the Warp in the West did. It's kind of funny how that works out. Bethesda has no idea how their games would actually end, so they make them all canon.
This is one of the endings is the player activates the Numidium, and the Numidium just goes into rampage.
No. That is the Warp in the West.
Is it?
I just missed something.
Yeah. Yeah, the Numidium gets turned on no matter what, and it it causes the entire area of Iliac Bay to be basically fucked into another timeline and then get remerged back into the same timeline.
Interesting.
So So, like, all 6 endings in Daggerfall happen at once, and when Skyrim, or when Oblivion rolls, or Morrowind would be the third game, rolls around, all those endings happened at once.
Interesting.
And so that's why it's called The Warp in the West, because Bethesda has no clue how their lore ends.
I mean, Oblivion was thankfully only one fucking ending possible for the main quest line.
Yeah,
That's
no,
interesting.
I mean, at least it isn't like Nier Automata with 26 endings.
I mean, at least it's not
Nier
like any
Automata
of
has to be
fucking... Yeah.
played multiple times to achieve those endings.
Yeah, but also there are like joke endings, so...
Yeah, I wasn't going to touch the Warp in the West. Don't worry about that. Because I think Jagar Tharn's whole thing would be more interesting.
Still, I kinda like multiple endings. Makes you replay the game more often.
Jagar Tharn melts, and a portal into the other dimension is opened. Interesting. So it says he melts, but they never actually say he officially dies.
Wait, that's the guy who had his heart inside Numidium, isn't he?
Jagar Tharn? No. Jagar Tharn is the one that put the Emperor Uriel Septim VII. He put him in a different universe and impersonated him for 10 years.
I hate waiting.
Which is related to the Staff of Chaos. And that staff is split into fragments throughout the continent. Because, you know, obviously. Rhea appears, and we're going to provide the general location of the next fragment. At the end of the quest, they find the piece and reassemble it. Tharn is not destroyed, as there's another piece, which is the jewel in the Imperial Palace. Interesting. I actually wonder what happens to the Eternal Champion. Do they ever touch on that? Do they just go to Akavir? Is that what happens?
Wait, what? I don't know. Wait, what do you
The Eternal
mean?
Champion is the protagonist of Arena. What happens to them?
I don't think it ever tells us what happens to them, because I'm pretty sure at that point in time, like, the game mechanics and lore were so basic that it's like they just kind of have it where it's like, okay, you're this player, and they probably never thought beyond that.
The first game, I could definitely see that. The Narrow of Rain is in Akavir. Why is that? 'Cause I remember for a while, my brother and I were like, oh, you know, all your players, they just go to Akavir. It's like, no, only the Narrow of Rain does. The Eternal Champion, it's not actually stated what happens. It's assumed that they return to their home province. Hailed as a great hero. Although the Eternal Champion may have been given some form of power over the Empire after the events of the game. So it's kind of a no one fucking knows. And apparently they're referred to as Talon.
Yeah, I don't... There are rumors that Neravine has left on an expedition to Akavir. That'd be interesting if we saw this character in a future timeline.
The hero of Daggerfall is forced into a timeline where they die because of the warp in the west.
No, the Neravine guy.
No, yeah, they go to. They're the only one that's actually alive because they're immortal. Literally, they're immune to aging.
I mean, technically, so is the Oblivion player character.
They're also implied to be Sheogorath.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so technically, if it's Sheograph, then...
But he's also kind of dead, so...
I mean, Daedric princes, I don't think really give a fuck.
They really
I
don't.
mean, the character is kinda dead when you think about it, because he became Shearborn, not himself.
Could be interesting. So, because it's not stated what happens to the Eternal Champion, or the only person, there's the only one that doesn't have some sort of concrete ending at this time. Like,
So what are you doing? Like just trying to figure out lore for your...
kind of. I'm trying to write up an interesting main storyline.
Hmm.
And I came up with the idea of why not bring Jagar Tharn back into it. Wanted to figure out his fate, and I just started going down the rabbit hole.
The Eternal Champion went to your land and was cursed to forever walk it. There you go.
I honestly wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility in Skyrim. I was thinking a necromancer decided to bring him back. Some, like they're now
I feel like
Dreadlord,
that would be better left to Morrowind though,
right?
because they've got the Necromancer Island, I believe.
Honestly, there's any number of things that can happen. I don't know. Part of me wants to bring in some stuff from previous games.
Oh, it's not that late as I thought it was.
How many quests are there in Arena?
I think most of it's just traveling between cities with an occasional dungeon in between.
Emphasis on Eternal, but never touched on outside of the game. Sorry. Continue.
Is it raining?
I like how
Yeah, it is
in
fucking raining.
Arena, Morrowind is like Vardenfell is literally on fire already. Like the volcano has gone off.
Oh, an arena.
Yeah, in Arena, which is like 389. Like it's
Yeah, isn't Arena like 200 years before Oblivion? No.
it's like less than 100. It's like 60 years difference.
Elder Scrolls games timeline. Because I'm stupid.
Morrowind takes place 427.
Alright, so Arena takes place
No.
about 30 years before Morrowind does.
427 by the ending it's 399, so it's about 28 to 38 years.
Wait, so why the fuck would... Huh?
Yeah, Jagar Tharn isn't actually said to have died or not. I mean, he melts, so it's pretty assumed he dies.
I mean, isn't that kind of obvious?
Look,
You die then.
Look, if we're being completely honest, nobody ever dies in Elder Scrolls.
That's kind of the thing. No one ever really dies.
It's like Marvel and DC Comics. It's just like we can't kill these characters because otherwise we're gonna lose story. So we have to keep bringing them back.
So it is actually canon that the Eternal Champion is a man. It's male, and his name is Talon, which probably means he's Imperial.
I'm assuming most of the heroes of
Elder Scrolls
are male. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I imagine the Daggerfall hero is a Red Guard. Isn't the canon Nerevarine Dark Elf?
Yeah.
Yeah. So canon, Dragonborn's probably gonna be a Nord or an Imperial.
Yeah, it would probably be a Nord, probably based on the fact that they're trying to leave the province at the start of the game.
I thought they were trying to enter the province.
Are they? It's one of the two. It's either they're trying to come back.
I don't actually think they state whether you're trying to leave or enter. It's just you get caught at the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I did say that it's like if we ever.
That makes me more wonder, why were you caught? What were you doing?
That's kind of up to the player. That's the whole thing. Is it's up to the player. I've always assumed smuggling.
I did say that any alt start mod that might come out when Beyond Skyrim gets more provinces done should have it where the player gets caught, like if they're trying to enter from Cyrodiil into Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
And that would just start off the Skyrim campaign right there.
I mean, it's a good way to go.
I was just drunk and I yelled at them really loudly.
Okay, Hero Kvatch is also Imperial, and Dragonborn is Nord. Eternal Champion is named Talon, so that gives us something to work from. That's assuming I want to go with like a Necromancer, or like someone's soul never really died and is dumb stuff. But to the northeast is the problem. I don't know, I kind of like the three I've got. They're not so far out of the realm of possibility, and I can have a lot of creative freedom with them. But also bring in like a latent Jagar Tharn. It'd be fun as I go for it. It could be fun if done right.
When did I get these? Excuse me. Okay.
So now if we're gonna bring in the Eternal Champion and Jagar Tharn and all that, we do have to figure out how it would work in the first place. Jagar Tharn is a bit easier. I mean, it's kind of the same way, because Jagar Tharn explicitly melted. The Eternal Champion is never referenced outside of Arena.
What was the Daedric Prince who killed in Oblivion? Marin's Dagon? Right?
Yeah, Marin's Dagon.
He's actually dead, right? Or is he still kicking?
I mean, he kind of can return whenever he wants to.
He's a Daedric Lord, so he can kind of come back at all times, I think.
Okay.
It's kind of like they.
Oh yeah, no, he's in Markarth, isn't he?
Yeah.
Markarth? I thought that was
Yeah.
that's
No, that's Malachite.
It's Markarth or something. It's not Dagon.
You get
No,
Maroon.
Maroon's Dagon is the one with the razor that you collect
Oh yeah.
in the museum.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of annoyed which one it is. Well, I think it is.
Marin's Dagon does not give you.
In the cage and he's whining about domination.
Oh, you do. Never mind. I see right there. You are correct. He allows. I think maybe. It could. Is it canon that bringing the dagger back together is resummons him? That'd be interesting. Molag Bal is Markarth. Thank you.
Yeah. See, I know some stuff.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't Marin's Dagon. That's Dawnstar.
Yeah.
Did I read that right?
Still, I kind of think it could be canon that you bring back the dagger, but also on the other hand, all the older Daedric princes want your soul.
Everyone wants every hero's soul, and they get all of them. Everybody.
It's like Oprah Winfrey. You get my soul. You get my soul. You get my soul.
Hey, Brady.
See, that's the thing. It's like that's the plus side. It's like if you have to if you have to sacrifice yourself, at least put the Daedric gods against one another. It's like no, I have it, and then you just sit back and let like the fucking court battle ensue for.
I just imagine like you're standing jury coming waiting for who represents the best case for why they should have your soul. It's like, so Molag Bal, why do you have the best reason to have my soul? Because I said so. Yeah, okay, no. Next.
Oh no, it's just a fucking custody battle over the Dragonborn soul. That's all it is.
Lawyers. It's
like everybody has to lawyer up. Shigarath is the judge.
Dragon Break.
Elder Scrolls Edition.
Yeah.
I'd be up for that.
Yeah.
So, in one of the timelines, the hero is killed in Aetherius, destroying the hero's soul forever. But they survived in all of it. This is the Dragon. Daggerfall is the word. The Daggerfall hero. So it's unknown what the actual fate was. The agent is mentioned apparently, but the agent also has an explicit background.
Did
Warp in the West in the book.
Did-
That's it.
did the in Arena, did they ever actually refer to Cyrodiil as Cyrodiil, or was it just Imperial Province at the time?
I think it was still just Imperial Province.
Hmm.
Oh. I didn't realize the Eternal Champions mentioned in 2 books. Biography of Baron Zia, Volume 3, and a minor maze.
You sound kind of confused there.
A minor maze. My words started slurring. So in a minor maze, it's there.
What about the Lusty Argonian? I know they're gonna kill me for this house, but it's like I just don't want to try and do it. I tried so hard to get it right the first time.
Right.
It didn't work. What?
Sorry, responding to chat. So we can bring in some of those elements, but at the same time, it makes no sense for it to be brought in for Aldas to Jagar Tharn or the Internal Champion. Like they're probably at their home province more than anywhere else, unless it's something like Cicero, transporting a corpse across provinces. Like it's the only reasonable time to have that exist.
I'm so fucking tired.
Go to sleep.
Maybe
No.
you should sleep then.
No.
Oh.
Sleep is for the weak.
I am weak, but I am not allowed to sleep. My body doesn't allow it.
Get some alcohol.
I tried. They don't have absinthe here. At least not in the stores.
You don't need it that strong.
Are you sure about that? Because the last time I actually slept really well was after I took a couple of shots of absinthe in Bruges. I want to do the hard mode raid, but my girlfriend is still busy. Wee.
Wait, what? Wait, what
Oh,
raid?
oh, it's
Oh.
a raid for a special item that's limited right now, and we need it for a special event.
Oh, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna bring in the arena lore or anything like that, because that gets real fucky and real fast.
What, you mean? You don't mean that all of Elder Scrolls is just building blocks
Dragon Break.
just poorly stacked on top of one another in hopes that nobody notices?
You read into it for 5 minutes and you're like, what the fuck?
And it's just like, what is this? This isn't referenced. Why is this different in Skyrim? What the fuck? And it's just like, oh,
Yup.
you see here. Here's a
You
lot
see,
complicated-
you're fucked.
This is a story of all about how Bethesda went and fucked this whole thing upside down.
Guys, the perfect
yeah.
solution for this. This is
Just
why
use
you
the
say
staff.
that every game is on a different world and that it's not connected at all.
Yeah, but then people get angry because it's just like, nothing matters, and it's just like, that's the point.
I mean, it works for Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy just needs to stop.
No,
Yeah.
shut up.
It
I
needs
will hunt you down for that.
do it. No. Final
then I will force you to
Final
play
Fantasy
one
just
of them.
needs to, like, chill the fuck out and maybe take a couple years off.
That's what they have been doing. Like, it was from Final Fantasy 14 to Final Fantasy 15, a 6-year gap.
Longer. How about we do a decade or two?
Using the staff is not an option, actually. Yeah, using the Staff of Chaos is not an option because it's part of the Winterhold questline.
Oh no. Isn't there like this weird orb in the Winterhold Mages Guild thing?
Mm-hmm.
Of mages, like this weird eye orb that strangely looks like the eye of Sauron.
Wait, what?
And then you can create it if you buy it.
I mean, I just got it by glitching through the wall by accident.
Yeah, so that was only a couple months ago that the Staff of Chaos was released through Creation Club, and I believe Creation Club stuff is canon.
Oh no! Is that
Wait, no, it's not.
Is it?
No.
So my Mudcrab pet is canon? Okay, sure, that works for me.
Yes. No. The armored mud grab is absolutely canon. Come the fuck on.
Yeah, this has to be canon. I'm
He
fine
is.
with that.
No, I'm gonna. So the original Staff of Chaos.
Has to be canon. I'm fine with that.
No, it's not. None of that's canon. I don't know. Because if that's the case, we better fucking release this shit on Creation Club ASAP.
Right. So.
Just so Bethesda has to follow our lore.
Just stealth release Beyond Skyrim on the Creation Club and called Beyond Akavir.
Okay,
all right,
so
guys,
it
we're
is-
about to finish up the story on ES6. What's our main plotline? Well, according to Beyond Skyrim, because they released everything on the Creation Club, the Dragonborn literally did fucking everything. So now we don't have a story.
The Dragonborn solved all the problems throughout all the provinces of all time. Quite literally in the case of that one project.
Didn't finish the main quest and never became the Dragonborn.
The Dragon Break, it's like the Warp in the West, except for it's everywhere. Everything happens simultaneously, so they can do everything they want, and also nothing happened.
Yeah, it's like, and then it's just like Todd's just sitting there, just like pull out the Numidium.
We're gonna pull out the Numidium. Even though he never was actually involved with the original Numidium, only a Carlicon.
Yeah, no, I know, but I get the feeling. No, okay, it's like
He would.
I seriously get the feeling that if Bethesda finds themselves in a corner, they will definitely pull Numidium and they will just reset the whole universe.
I mean, that's fine by me.
Is it though? Because it's like, at
It's
this
got
point, the
lore.
only thing Elder Scrolls has got going for it is the lore.
I mean, you can, like...
Oh,
play
okay,
out that
so
there's just a new compound
this
with
is...
it.
The UESP puts fucking everything up. This is a Creation Club part. So after the Staff of Chaos is destroyed in Arena, it's not actually touched. Until the Arms of Chaos, which is a Creation Club thing that was just released a couple months ago.
Yeah, no, that's not canon.
Fucking, I get that now. It should be marked as not canon.
You really think somebody would do that? Go to all that effort to type a two-sentence thing.
This is not canon.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
come on. Elder Scrolls community is a lot lazier than you think it is.
I mean, valid. We've been streaming for almost an hour, paying for a lore breaker.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't break lore. It's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't technically break the lore because people have been trying to re-harness the power of the Staff of Chaos for a long fucking time. Although I do like the idea of, something like the Staff of Chaos where you're trying to recreate an item would be pretty cool. Simple stuff of go across the island, get stuff from people who have stuff.
I really want to do something in one of the mods I'm working on, whether it be Cyrodiil or Roskir. No, actually, probably not Roskir, so maybe Cyrodiil.
What?
Or my other project.
The Thousand Monkey Isles, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Uh,
man, that's
the-
probably the best release ever.
I really want to do something in reference to a dungeon in reference to Rush's 2112.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you know that song?
I don't, and I don't want to.
What? No, it's a great
I'm kidding,
song.
I'm kidding. So out of the three little ideas here. If we, the most likely one that will be like, go across the island and get stuff, retrieve stuff to rebuild item, will be the third one, the High Elven researcher who found the Dwemer ruin, which is I'm going to turn it instead of by a Breton researcher, who is Bastian Rennick, the follower. We can help do that quest line, which is recreating a thing so you can do stuff. Hired by a noble to track down the nobleman's daughter, return him back, or competition between you and several other bounty hunters. I like the idea of the several other bounty hunters one, because we could do something like the Thieves Guild questline start from Oblivion, where if you don't get the thing in time, someone else gets it, and you have to get it from them. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Because then I can do kind of all of the above.
I can justify this bullshit with more bullshit.
Fuck you, for one.
Well, no. That's literally game development right there.
Right? I could justify this bullshit with bullshit.
Your way through everything.
That's how I do it. So,
I mean,
with
that's
this,
pretty much...
it's vague enough that I can do the rebuilding a thing. I can actually incorporate all three of these into one. And I just thought of a way to do it. Okay, you ready? So,
Oh boy.
No.
Breton researcher is the nobleman. The nobleman's daughter went missing after performing an experiment. Turns out she got sent to a plane of oblivion. So first you have to open a new oblivion portal, but to open that portal you need a sigil stone. There are no sigil stones currently on on Tamriel, so you have to instead go find pieces of old ones across the island, because I don't know, reasons. Figure that out later. And you put it all together. Once you have that sigil stone, you open the oblivion portal. You go from into that plane of oblivion, get the daughter back, and pull her out. And the whole time, you have to beat 2 or 3 other bounty hunters who are doing the same thing.
That sounds like Endgame, but in reverse.
Kind of. Fuck, I didn't think about that. It's derivative. Hey, Omdwa. Omwida. Hey, oh god. Fuck you. Okay, but is that not actually kind of cool?
I mean, it sounds good, but
should I go for it?
I don't think it's been done in Elder Scrolls yet. But it's
I don't know
I
if it's
can't
lore
help but
friendly. I
notice
mean,
the
someone gets
similarities.
sent to a plane of oblivion fuck every day in Elder Scrolls apparently.
But like I said, it sounds like.
Here's a question: is the player nearby? Yes, it's probably lore friendly because it's happened somewhere else in the world. The island is not lore friendly though. It's lore friendly, but not really. It doesn't fit fully to the world. I could literally named it Cathnicway, and it'd be lore friendly.
You can still do that.
Like literally, that's all it needs is just a rename from Aldas to Cathnicway. I could do it too.
You can name it to what's this island called? Oh wait, this is
How's Monkey Isles?
Oh. No, I'm looking up islands that are in the.
Dude, trust me, I spent like 4 hours doing it. There's 7 islands.
Can somebody explain to me what Eastgard is?
That is someone's custom, like their own thing. That's not canon.
I thought it was part of the lore, and I was like,
Nope.
oh damn, that looks interesting.
Nope, it's someone else's project.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought for a while Ishgard was actually a lore thing, but I guess not.
Okay, I kind of like the idea. Esroniat would work, but then I have to have a new creature race, and that involves assets, creations, figuring out what their accents would be, which I am totally okay with. That'd be very fun, and stuff like that.
Big thick Nords.
And then I also kind of have to change up what's already established, and I'd probably want to scale it up if I was going to use that island.
Big boy Nords.
Big Nord boys.
Oh wait, no shit, that's Ruskir.
That's yeah. Spliff. This island is not canon.
Part of me feels
this is not a Beyond Skyrim project.
Part of me feels like Roskria got the idea of big Nords is like, okay, let's just throw a Nord in the editor and upscale it by 0.10%.
Okay. True. Accurate.
10.2%.
I think they did the same thing as what they did in Dragonborn. Because they didn't they do that for the Nords on Dragonborn? The whatever the skull.
I think so, maybe. I think they were a little bit larger.
See, I'm gonna try to. It's gonna be immersive. It's gonna be lore friendly, but not like following complete canon. It won't it won't fit in pre-established lore. It's kind of where it's at.
But it could.
Just I why?
Why
For
you
the-
do this?
for the
Why
Beyond
you
Skyrim
do
project.
this?
I mean, honestly, yes. If we talked about that extensively in the dev server. I think there was like a 2-hour-long conversation about what we could do to make this a Beyond Skyrim project. And everyone's like, if Ruskrea can do it, you could just call yourself Catholic Way. And I was like, I'll do it if you guys will let me actually be a Beyond Skyrim project. I'll change it right now. I'll rewrite shit right now, and we could do it. And I never got a solid answer.
I would just keep like the name in parentheses, just in case one day it's just like, you know what?
I mean, here's the thing: if we're gonna change it from Aldas, I have to do it now. I have to do it before. If I don't do it, it's not as easy as just rewriting everything. Because right now, if I were to do that, I'd have to already update almost half a gig worth of files.
I'd say keep it as it is then.
Like, it's not bad. It's just update half a gig worth of files, rename a world space, restructure the Git for. It only takes a couple minutes, but the Asronians, their race is like the Bat people. Is that's Asronia? Isn't it, or is that the other one?
Do they go around? Do they go around saying I'm Batman?
No, they're like literally Bat people. Or am I thinking of a different one? I think I'm thinking of Unesia?
Aren't there like werebats in the Elder Scrolls?
There's plenty of were things.
Were vultures.
I'm sure there's a were tuna in there somewhere.
I mean, that'd be my goal, to be just something really not dangerous. And you just turn into it at night and you're like, fuck, I need to get to the water before I drown. I mean suffocate, because you don't have...
Yeah, I'm not...
eyes.
I don't remember which race it was. That's on one of the islands. I don't remember at all.
I like how you're trying to do a very serious stream about writing and we're just here.
Serious. Dude, I literally spent like I've spent the last hour just asking questions about what the fuck this is. Like, what's the player's motivation? Is the big one. Honestly, the main problem is, what's the start?
See, at that point, you can go one of two ways.
I can
You
just
can
go,
either-
hey,
you
there's
could
a
do
ship, go
very
ahead.
You could do a very serious story, or you could do a meme story.
I've already committed to going with a serious story.
Oh.
I mean, I once I finish
Like a
my
semi-serious.
commissions, I will work on your stuff for a bit.
Tank.
But before that, SSX's stuff needs to be finished and someone else's.
Like,
Yeah, where's my thing at?
early Elder Scrolls lore is hell.
Shut the fuck up.
Because like, if you actually think about every single Elder Scrolls story, Daggerfall is the most grounded. I know.
Like grounded fantasy games, I want to.
I would say Oblivion is the most grounded, in all honesty.
Okay, Oblivion is a bit more grounded than Daggerfall. Like, those two are the most grounded. How about that?
Oblivion would be the most grounded, in my opinion.
And then
because
Daggerfall.
Yeah,
In Morrowind,
and-
like, you start off as a fucking god. Like,
Yeah,
straight up
and-
start off as a god. It's great.
So it's like, because it's like Oblivion, it's just like, okay, King's dead, gotta go find the other guy because he was a bastard child and whatever. the
Yep.
fuck. And then
King's
it's
dead,
like,
gotta
oh,
go fast.
yeah, then there's an invasion coming. It's just like, oh shit, motherfucker, we gotta get the show.
Right
on the
person in the right place.
I tried thinking of a grounded Final Fantasy game and there just isn't any.
Grounded Apocalypse. Daggerfall is, hey, I need you to go do this thing, and then it just fucking blows up from
I
there.
need you to go do this thing with a giant robot, preferably not fuck it. All right?
Skyrim is, hey, that's your brother. He's here to kill you.
Can if you want to.
Yeah, your brother is trying to kill you and fuck the world. Could you like not allow him to do that?
Could you eat him before he eats
think
us?
That sounds like
The
something
anti-vor.
my brother will try to do. Fuck the world over.
Okay. Let's generate another random quest line. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we got escort a caravan. Nope. Escort a valley. Nope. Slay the Leviathan of the Azure Sea. Interesting. That actually could be it could be interesting to have like some sort of mythical creature from Elder Scrolls lore
Are there,
past.
like really large skeletons in what was it? Oh my god, I forgot the name. Black Reach.
I think so. I don't know. I actually haven't played through
It's
Skyrim
still
enough to know.
that there are like giant creatures somewhere hiding.
But the problem is then you have to create custom animations and skeletons and shit. It's just a giant fucking slaughterfish. No, Cryptic Sage seeks a company to steal the spear from a rival. Clear his name against charges of forgery.
Why not try to long shot? But why not try to incorporate one of the non talked about ES games into it?
Like Battlespire?
Yeah.
Redguard?
Well,
I was actually...
thing.
I wanted to play through Redguard at one point in time.
Like, I know that sounds like probably a little weird, but it's like...
No, I get what you're saying. Like, with Battlespire, its whole thing is... It's just a dungeon fest.
I know, but is there any sort of weapon lore inside there that could maybe be utilized?
Oh shit, Redguard is the old... It takes place the furthest back.
It
Is
does.
It takes place the furthest back in the timeline. Sec
I
2E864.
Took place a bit before Morrowind.
400 years before Arena.
Oh.
Yeah. It's about Cyrus,
Damn.
who's trying to find his missing sister and gets put involved in politics.
That's interesting. So it's only about 300 years after online.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. Might play it then sometime. Also, when does Battlespire take place?
Some point in time of which will probably never be discussed. Oh wait, actually, hold on.
And there's a dragon in Redguard as well.
Yeah, I know that.
Battlespire takes
Dragon?
place in what appears to be Third Era 175, according to
He
this
is a
one.
red dragon. Did he get killed? And it's unknown if he was resurrected. He was killed.
Huh. I wonder if Iliac Bay is going to play with that at all.
You should ask them.
Yeah, they're going to tell me.
They'll tell you before they tell me.
If you give Uber a nice enough reason, he will. Probably. Maybe.
Oh, Redguard is only on an area south of Hammerfell.
Yeah.
It's. Huh. So yeah, I wonder if they will play with that then, because that's.
The plot of Battlespire is dungeon crawler. Like, straight up. It is, hey, you're an apprentice who, on the day of your final test, discovers that everybody was killed. An army of Daedra led by Raymond's Dagon invaded and killed everybody. On top of that, your best friend is held captive for some reason. You go over the course of 7 levels, travel through various realms of oblivion to reach him, and defeat Mehrunes Dagon. That's it.
Don't you speak to the guy like the Unspoken Masters or something? Like one of them?
Fuck
I
if I know.
looked up weapons in Battlespire, and it leads to an error page.
That's
yeah,
a
this
mood.
pretty much sums up this game.
Like, honestly, there's a lot you can do. Like with just, if words are hard.
Life is hard.
It really is. Words are real hard. Like, I could probably do anything I want. Like, I could bring in the hero of Battlespire.
Why not make a custom Daedric weapon then, and be like?
That's kind of
this
the thing, is then I have to make a new Daedra, because I think every single Daedric god has their weapon in Skyrim.
Well, you could, or I mean, you could Daedric realms are infinite, so it's
That's what I was gonna create. I was thinking about creating a custom god, just known as the Storm Lord. What
Well, I
about there
mean,
about?
What you could do is then it's like you could just say like this weapon was at the battle spire at one point in time.
That
Anyways,
I
I'm gonna go
like that actually.
away,
That's an
so
interesting
see you
idea.
guys later.
It's like that
Let it
could be
be.
like the whole lore behind it and everything. It's like this was at this event, but
Jigalag. I'm not gonna do Jigalag. Okay. How about this? So we're gonna write up something. Do we want to be like a Daedric Lord who really has gone under the radar, decided to come back? Or is it cult worshipping him?
You could do that. It'd probably be. I probably wouldn't do a cult worshipping it, but I'd probably like maybe say maybe something along the lines of the Draugr, where it was a sort of cult in the long past that has since been long forgotten and has just kind of dissipated. And there's no modern following, but you can still.
What
But
if?
you could find like the Daedric relic in a
Yeah.
dungeon.
So I'm thinking, what if during the first era, before the Dwemer were disappeared, there was a Daedric demi-prince who was defeated or enslaved essentially by the Dwemer and kept inside of a location. He is just reawoken from his essential, like his essentially stasis through, in this case, it'd be the same thing, the same lich that is creating new constructs. He's reawoken, a long-forgotten Daedric prince, demi-prince, has reawoken from his slumber after, 4,000 years, and has a bit of a crick in his neck, and is angry. He wants to ascend to full princedom. Or prince... I guess they're all technically princes. It's not like princess and prince or princess.
Is it possible for Daedra to
Be feminine?
No. Is it possible for Daedra to become trapped on the mortal plane?
I don't know. Sorry, I hit my mic. I don't know if it's stated outright whether or not it can happen, but we could find out. I mean, Lorcan's heart was an Aedra thing, right?
Was it? I don't remember.
How would one ascend to princedom?
Probably
by
through
taking...
mass murder.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's an Aedric artifact. Part of Lorcan.
Double C. I want it to be around that time, somewhere between like a 5 to 600 year first era range.
The Heart of Lorcan has a fatigue stat.
Of course it does. I'm gonna punch the Heart of Lorcan 100 times and it'll fall down, and the game will. It'll fall
It's
down out of.
It's 1,000.
How quick is this recharge?
I don't know. Oh wait, is this recharge? No, that's Magicka. It's health. Health is 1,000. It's level 1 though. I don't think it has a recharge.
Thousands of mortals. Would it be must just absorb the souls of thousands of mortals, or
Okay, hold on. Let's think about that for a second, because it's like, yeah,
it could be a Daedric demi-prince, could be because there is canon there are Dwemer that survived.
Would you want it to be a basic bitch bad guy sort of thing? Because it's like, do you really want to be like, oh, he
We could take from have you watched the Doctor Who
murder everything?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is you do know the Doctor Who special End of Time? David Tennant's last one.
Isn't that the one where
the Time Lords come back?
Oh, that one.
Yeah. What if we did something like that, where instead of it being a Daedric demi-prince, it's a Dwemer who's coming back after all these years? Like, because in canon there is a Dwemer who came back.
Yeah, I know.
Who's
but
around?
It's like, he was in another plane of existence, though.
I could say the same thing with this one.
At the same time, though,
and he wants to bring back his people, and he thinks the way to do it is to trade souls. 1-to-1.
no, I wouldn't do that. it sounds like way too much of like it feels like trying to tread ground of stuff that's already been done before.
I
Like
mean,
I
how has
can't
it been
think of it off the
redone?
top
How
of
do
my
you
head
mean?
right now. Like, because it's like I've seen. I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head.
Is it too? It's a really common thing. I know that much for people in the modding community to be like, Dwemer. They aren't
Yeah.
short though. The thing with it, they're not short Dwemer. Dwemer are taller than high elves,
Yeah,
especially if they're ghosts or anything to go by.
I'm pretty sure the high elves are feeling pretty fucking pompous about surviving so long.
Yeah,
It's
and
like, well, looks like our Iliad brethren have been killed off. Our Dwemer brethren yeeted the fuck out of existence. So it's like,
yeah, like that's kind of the thing is we could go Dwemer with it. We could go basic bitch because it's easy. What would I mean? This is just
but
like
it's like every single modder on this damn planet who's ever worked on a large Elder
wants to
Scrolls
do
Quest
Dwemer.
mod, no, has ever done something involving a Daedric prince, and it's just like, oh, he's going to kill everything. It's just like,
I mean, why'd they call them dwarves? Because fantasy in the early '90s, you needed to have dwarves.
honestly, I think it's a good twist. Honestly, that the dwarves in Elder Scrolls are actually elves.
Right? The Dwemer. I think it could be a Daedric demi prince who was a Dwemer. Maybe. No.
Didn't the Dwemer as a whole just think that the whole Daedric reality and Aedric reality were all bullshit?
As far as I recall, yes.
So
And
it's
that's
like,
the irony of it.
so it's like,
As he's like, I thought
okay.
this is bullshit. Now I'm one. Fuck.
What if it was more of a
That'd be funny to me. Just like, yeah, I'm a Dwemer. I don't believe in Daedra. But you're a fucking Daedric prince.
oh shit.
Shut up. Fuck you. No, I'm not. Just completely fucking Thanos snaps him out.
I like that idea a bit more. Like he
Ascended on accident.
he accidentally ascended to it, and
Maybe who was on his plane of oblivion. Like he ascended and is suddenly like, where the fuck am I?
what if he was?
Because for some reason I imagine each
What
Daedric
if
prince
he-
is
what
like
if-
started in just like a white nothingness and they have to create their plane.
What if he was like a? Okay, like you know how like the high elves are like against like forms of magic,
Mhm.
like by the general populace. Like, what if like it was kind of like that, but like with the Dwemer, it's like he was looking into Daedric reality as like a sort of way to cultivate more and
Power?
it just kind
More energy?
more power, more energy, something.
What if he was one of the... Because right now my idea is that Vork Hall, the Dwemer Ruin here, is like a researching station. What if he was looking into a new power source for the Numidium, a Kukulkan, that wasn't
he was
Lorcan's
on
heart?
he was on part of the Numidium team or whatever.
Yeah,
was that
like-
a team or was it just one guy?
I don't know. I believe
I-
it's one person was working on it. It's like, maybe he was like, I can do that better. And came back over here to, start researching it. Ended up going to a plane of oblivion, got stuck there. And ended up coming back in these thousands of years later. And instead of being a lich that's, creating these constructs, it's him.
So,
And instead of being powered by soul gems, they're being powered by
you would need to
oblivion.
reference Kagranak, the Dwemer tonal architects.
I'm gonna have to look into Dwemer a bit more, but I think that's a pretty good basis. I think.
Okay, so yeah, Numidium. If like you were to do that, you would have to reference Kagranak, who was a Dwemer tonal architect. Oh, maybe that's what you could do. You could talk more about the tonal architecture and everything.
I
know that's a-
fucking idea what that is.
It's the thing of which the entire Elder Scrolls universe is based on.
The Dwemer tonal architecture.
There's multiple tonal shit in the Elder Scrolls universe, but like the way Numidium functions is it basically sings on a frequency that the universe can understand, and
Alright.
Numidium in response basically shatters that. Like that's like the whole deal with
Their
how
ears and thought organs. They are called thought organs. They don't have brains. They have thought organs. Okay.
Hold on.
Thanks, ESO. The Dwemer exhibited near total mastery of tonal forces and would use it pretty much everywhere. Ancient Khmer scholarship states that the Dwemer could employ tonal forces to bend weaker minds to their will, form of complex oral hypnosis. They were able to create massive devices called tonal resonators, complex architectural wonders that stood taller than the most imposing giants, and filled cavernous chambers with pipes, dials, and pistons. When the resonators released a series of powerful tones that could alternate the broadways. Deep calm, profound pleasure, or paranoia and terror. Virtually limitless uses. Okay.
Yep, tonal architecture is
Manipulate the heart via tonal architecture used to create their own god, the Numidium. Said it ultimately led to disappearance, and then people achieved divinity using the tools.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like I was gonna say, it's a giant bag of worms. But I guess if you can find a way to explain it well enough, that it work out.
I don't think we would have to explain it at all. Thought organs. Why would you do that? Okay. You piece of shit. So I don't actually think explaining it is necessary. Because if they understood... Oh. If he was a tonal architect, and he ended up going to Oblivion, I mean, who the fuck wouldn't just be like, I'm gonna create all the sounds, see what the fuck this does.
Using Oblivion as the nuclear test site.
That's how Mayron Stagon's realm is now created. That's the new No. What if that ends up being canon? What if that's how it is? Is it wasn't Mayron Stagon that made everything
imagine
hell?
a Daedric prince hanging out in his fucking realm, then all of a sudden the universe starts singing and it blows the fuck up. It's just like, what the fuck just happened?
Okay, so we're definitely going down this pipeline. Get it? A Dwemer scientist was experimenting with tonal architect. Is it tonal architecture? Is that what it is?
TONAL.
Yeah, I see that. Architecture. Tonal architecture and the manipulation of Daedric. Why? Of Daedric, what would it be? Artifacts? Would he have an artifact? Would he have had an artifact? Or do you think it would be something else?
I don't know. Like, okay, no, it's like if he had an artifact and like he was a tonal architect that was like and knew how to sing to the fucking universe, like what would that weapon be though?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is he probably wouldn't be experimenting with an actual artifact?
It doesn't need to be a. It doesn't need to be a weapon. It can just be an artifact.
What if he just had a sigil stone?
What's a sigil stone again? I forget. Oh, this thing.
Yeah, it's what they use to open portals.
Too basic. What if it was like a Christ. Like, what if it was an item that, like, could sing to the universe in a way that Numidium could, but not to, like, the destructive power that Numidium had?
Then we could bring in the Daggerfall one. The power source that Tiber Septim used.
That was destroyed, though, wasn't it?
Let's find out.
The thing inside the Numidium at that time was destroyed by the Underking.
The Mantella. It was on Aetherius. The Numidium was destroyed. The Underking pulled his heart out of the mantella.
Okay, so you could just say that one's deactivated then.
Well, the thing with the mantella is it was created after the Dwemer disappearance, and this guy would have been experimenting with it long before
I
this
know
would have
you
ever been
could.
created. So he
I
may
mean,
have
I
had
guess
to
you could.
create his own.
Yeah, I know. What I'm basically saying is you could probably have another one from before then, but this one's just a deactivated one. I like how I said I wasn't going to get involved with your project because I was busy with other stuff.
With level design, which we're actually starting soon.
No.
I'm not telling you can join. You can no, I'm kidding.
No, you're banned. Fuck off.
No, I'm gonna ban you forever. So looking at it, it's just it was just a thing infused with
Fuck
the
you,
life
Trey.
source of a powerful being. So theoretically speaking, what if
What
instead
if it was
of
just a big loot?
I was gonna say maybe he accidentally infused his soul into this thing for a long time because he's probably powerful if he's a tonal architect. Mm, I don't know. I want him to have gone to the Wadagic plane and become a prince, and be like, "God damn it, I didn't want this." But,
Fuck. Yeah. How do I make a house come off as a cannibal's?
a lot of blood and human
Well,
parts
I mean,
everywhere. Obviously,
A hidden cannibal house, as in we don't know.
a
The
cellar filled with human parts.
I mean, I already got that way ahead of you on that.
Then there's nothing else you can do.
But how do I make it so that way, like, the front of the house doesn't look like shit? This is like the living room doesn't look like.
I mean, make it look like a normal place, but like put
See,
blacksmith
I-
aprons everywhere and put like a lot of blades around and embalming tools unnecessarily, like in a bucket.
See, I would like to rename an item. Actually, I think I could. Hold on. How hard is it to change stats on food items?
Not difficult. I don't want a Dunmer name. I want Dwemer.
Because I just
Gromrod.
want.
His name will be
Grom.
Gromrod.
I want to take some meat, and I just want to rename it to
Rosnock. That's an interesting name.
to mystery meat.
Yalek. His name will be Yalek. What will his... Do we care about last name for him? Osrin.
Big dick energy.
His name is Yalek Novzrin. Is the Dwemer scientist.
You're just putting these into randomizers, aren't you?
Oh, 100%. 100% just pull me out of randomizer. A Dwemer name randomizer. Because there's 25 names for Dwemer people ever in the entire Elder Scrolls universe.
Alright, I'm gonna try doing this. This is probably not gonna work in the way I wanted to.
Okay. So, Yalek accidentally becomes a Daedra. A Daedric prince. So what does he do for 3,000 years with that much more power? And knowing if you sing just right, the universe will do what you want.
I don't know. What does magnitude mean?
Amount.
So 10, right?
What's the specific thing?
Weakness, poison.
That means 10% of poison will be ignored. Well, in this case,
Oh.
amplified 10%.
Wait, hold on.
It's like, or 10 points. 10 points worth of poison additional, if you have
Okay,
weakness too.
alchemy, damage, stamina. How about that? That works better, probably.
However many, whatever the magnitude is, how many points you'll be damaged.
Then if it's stamina, duration 5 seconds. Okay. Magnitude 10, duration 5 seconds. Okay, that works. Okay, so keywords, editor ID, vendor item, food. Should I delete this?
If you don't want it to be put into people's inventories, yes.
So you don't. I don't want it in the vendors.
Then delete the keyword vendor. What is it? Oh no, so that means anybody keep the keyword on there, because if it's marked as food, anybody who buys food will buy that item.
Okay, so I don't want that then. Alright.
Probably not. So what would a Dwemer scientist who doesn't believe in Daedra, who becomes a Daedra, call his realm of oblivion? What the fuck is Stan?
The fuck is this bullshit? The fuck is this existential bullshit? I don't know. Look at some of the dwarven dungeons. I'm sure you could probably pull an idea from that. Like, what would a dwarven thing do?
Reach Ethereum Forge.
Food ID. Food.
Dude, nice icon. What are you referring to? Are you referring to my profile picture? I don't know. In terms of on Twitch specifically, not a sir. Well, then yeah, that would be drawn by my good friend Lo at Real Larry D. I'll drop a link to his Twitter. It was drawn for a giveaway back when he did stuff like that. Twitch.tv, my god. He does great, fantastic, amazing art. Great friend of mine, great guy. He's just go follow him on Twitter. He deserves it, and commission him. And if you do commission him, tell him I sent you. Tell him Ash sent you. Pretty affordable rates. Really good at doing anything really. Let's see the map.
Okay, well, let's see how much that works. I hope that works well enough.
Hey, stay moist. Thank you for the follow.
Alright, let's go see this in-game if it works at all.
Ethereum.
Not gonna lie, the dungeon in which you actually use Ethereum in base game Skyrim is actually really cool. The Forge thing.
Yeah, the Ethereum Forge. Rare blue luminescent crystal found. It was originally discovered. Magical qualities. Those are almost impossible to make anything out of without the proper tools. Ethereum. Interesting. So Ethereum is only Blackreach. Interesting.
I guess that works.
What?
I tested my food item.
Oh god.
It's like 10 damage for like I think 5 seconds to stamina. So it's like at level 2, it basically drains half your bar.
Let's see, I think there's random name generators for Dwemer locations.
Sarcophagus. Would that make an interesting one?
What the fuck I stand? Zargul. Mazargle. Or Mzargle. Mzargle is what I'll call it for now. Yalek.
Yelik.
Yalik Navzrin Mazargle is what he called his place. Which, honestly, I'm kind of thinking it'd be cool to go to his realm. Would it not?
I mean, yeah.
To,
I
to
mean,
defeat him, would it be? This is the thing. If you have to defeat him,
what if it was more just seal him away for good?
but at the same time,
Because it's like you can't kill a Daedric, so
but here's the thing: what is his? He's come back for a reason. You know, he can. There's why come back from your realm of Daedra? You know,
what
your
if he
Daedric
was
realm.
what if he was actually in suspension the whole time and had no clue about it, and since then everything's been wiped out, and it kind of like
Like he doesn't know
I'm-
about the Dwemer disappearance.
Yeah, he doesn't know about the Dwemer disappearance, and like the whole, and like it kind of unravels in shock to him over the course of a bit. Like it's just like, oh shit, and then it's like what if he was a character that started out nice and then just slowly kind of progressed its way into
like
madness?
because right now you're hired by because I've got the idea to be hired by a researcher, a high elven quote unquote researcher. Oh. That could be interesting. What if he's pretending to be a high elf? Or, you know, whatever the Dwemer looked like, enough that people are like, okay, that seems weird. And he's trying to figure out what happened. And at some point he goes angry or something, or I don't know.
I like, okay, taking that idea, I like the idea that maybe you have a researcher that brings you to the island to study something.
Right now that's Bastion Rennick.
Okay,
He's a Breton.
And then it's like you go into this dungeon and whatever, and it's like, okay, so this is this, and then you find like the original like area that the Oblivion portal was in, and then you reopen the Oblivion
I was actually
portal,
just thinking the same thing, like
and he comes out of it, but he was in like a sort of like stasis the whole time.
yeah.
And like he like when he was put in there, it maybe only felt like a couple hours to him or whatever.
I mean, it'd probably
you.
be a couple of weeks to him, because at this point
Yeah.
he is a Daedric Lord. He's a Daedric
Yeah,
Prince at this point for sure. He probably
Okay.
knows about his place, because that I think that's more interesting if he knows, like, I was somewhere. Like, he doesn't fully recall the last thousands of years. His memory is fickle. Like, maybe he recalls the last couple years, walking around his realm.
I would imagine that a Daedric realm in the hands of a Dwemer would be like lots and lots of like gold and gear ore stuff shit.
I'm kind of thinking, at that point, based on the timeline for Ethereum, he would know what Ethereum was, because that was Ethereum was ancient even by Dwemer standards, so he would know about that and the Ethereum Forge and all that. So maybe his realm is kind of has that in it. You know?
Ethereum crystals.
Yeah, like the stuff for Ethereum, like in the giant mushrooms that I believe have Ethereum in them. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking right now, spitballing.
I mean, you could have Ethereum like growing.
You definitely the player in Bastion will definitely be the reason he comes back to the mortal realm, back to Nirn. But I'm not sure what he would do once he's there. Like you come back, you're like, wait, I was somewhere else.
I like the idea of him starting out as kind of like a in
he
sort
doesn't
of shock
seem to
state.
Yeah.
Like in a sort of shock state, but then it's like as like you could go do like other quests or whatever, and then it'd be like, and then like over the progression of that, it'd be like, I now understand my place or whatever the fuck, and then he just goes on a fucking tirade about murdering people, and then he kills the expedition guy you came with and whatnot.
Maybe killing Bastion doesn't necessarily seem like a way to go, just because not necessarily. Like, I think that could be a up to player choice depending on how they decide to go through the quest line. The character could get killed. Could be interesting that way. More interesting, in my opinion, than just he gets killed because he gets killed. If it's something the player has control over and can stop, I think that would be cool. Or cause. Because, there should be a pathway where you help this guy do whatever you want.
Quest ending number 355. He becomes a companion.
He becomes a lover. You can romance a god. That's canon. That's gonna happen. Okay, so now you can romance him. That is going to be a path. Okay, no, it's like, after being a Daedra for so long, either you probably forget you weren't, like in the case of Shurgrath, it's been 200 years since he became Jigalag last. He probably knows he's not, mortal. He knows he was mortal at one point, but probably forgot at this point. So maybe he has forgotten who he is when he comes back. And he's like, what is this place? It's familiar. And he asks for your help. Given that you and Bastion were the ones that spawned him in, he's like, hey, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I would definitely try to avoid the whole he's secretly evil plotline.
I mean, he's probably just a selfish asshole. He's a Dwemer. He's not necessarily evil, but he's probably not like...
Yeah, but I would purposely
good.
try to avoid that.
Because he was trying to find his own power source for better constructs, right? So
yeah, I would just avoid the whole he's evil thing, because it's like,
yeah,
I don't know, that's just been done to death at this point.
I'm not going to do the that. So I'm going to bring the Orichalcum constructs back in. Instead of it being, there's already Dwemer constructs that are made out of Orichalcum. That'll come later.
Oh, people are messaging me. What the fuck? World Anvil, fuck off.
I've got World Anvil muted.
It's like, I love how they can add all this extra shit, but they can't add proper like battle timeline things. It's just like
a timeline
military
feature.
action. So it's like I have this fucking 8-year war in my world, and it's like all I can use is military action as
Yeah.
the description point. And it's just like, guys, please.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm liking this. I'm liking this. So, hired by a couple of scientists who have recently found this ruin. You get to the ruin, after going through essentially a mini Underdark with Falmer in it. You have to clear them out. You get to Mizargal. Not Mizargal, you'll get to the Vorkal. What's up?
Would Falmer be on that island, though?
I mean, Falmer are kind of just everywhere. Anywhere there's Dwemer, there can reasonably be Falmer.
But they come from snow elves, though.
Yes, and this is to the north.
So
there
I
could have
guess
been
it's
some
like,
that,
I guess if you explained at some point that it's like they were slaves and they just kind of.
I mean, that's kind of the thing, is the Falmer, if there's Falmer, it means there were snow elves there and they were slaves. Like, it can be assumed. Once you know there's a Dwemer ruin there, like, you're going into it knowing there's a Dwemer ruin, a brand new Dwemer ruin that was probably either just uncovered through snow or an accidental expedition, like someone mined into a cavern room in Blackstone or White Ridge. And, someone's like, hey, oh, my foot was on a fan. That explains a lot. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is that sound? It was a fan scraping the bottom of my foot. That's great. Because I forgot I have a bottom fan now on my computer. But, sorry, going off track. So, if you're going in there with that thing in mind, you'll be told, hey, there's Falmer here. That's interesting. Why would there be Falmer that far north? That's kind of a plot hook. That's why the people are going. Partially to find out what the ruin was, and why there were Falmer. So that's the motivation for the expedition.
Yeah, I guess that works. Is Falmer a play on words? I'm thinking about it, as in fallen myrrh.
I think that's accurate.
Is that the
Knowing
play on
Bethesda, that's true. So the player will be hired as part of this expedition to find out why the Falmer is so north, and to explore the dungeon, the Dwemer ruin.
Now, is this going to be a dick ruin, or is this going to be a like just a ruin?
What do you mean, dick ruin? Like trapped to shit?
You're trapped to shit. High level enemies here to fuck you so hard you'll never want to play another dungeon again. Because I mean, on Monkey Islands, it's fucking. I have one set up.
Oh, I know. I actually think that'd be cool.
Like, it's just 20 levels of fuck you.
It's gonna be like a 5-level dungeon or more. It's not the only dungeon on the island. What if? So there's gonna be other Dwemer ruins, like smaller ones, like storehouses. If you follow Bastion and do his quest lines, you'll go to each of those and find more information. So, like, if you don't do that, if you go straight to the ruin, you're gonna have a bad time. But if you go to the storerooms and follow through with Bastion's questline, I think in that case, it'd be a lot easier to get through. Like, all the puzzles would be you have the password or the piece necessary to get through it without fucking yourself over, or you have the sequences. Like, you get the information to go for them in the first place. And I think that'd be interesting. What? Or should it be a thing of you can't proceed until you go find the other dungeon with the item?
I think it would be interesting if you did a dungeon where you could only access like half of it. You would have to leave and then come back at some point.
Several times, possibly. or just once.
Well, no, like, okay, no, that's a good idea right there. Like, do you have a height map of your?
I do. I have a
Let's see.
full labeled out map. Do you want the full labeled one with locations marked, or would you
Yeah,
prefer?
that's fine. I just need to be able to see mountains and everything. I don't care which one I see.
There's that's yeah. So it's kind of got the coloring on there, so you can kind of see where the mountains are. There's a lot of mountains.
Okay, so that big mountain at 0, 0?
Yes.
What's that being used for?
Right now it's a Nordic ruin called Shores Overlook. Vork Hall is roughly
Here,
negative
just
6,
send me the
negative
in-game
1.
map if you got that.
Like a screenshot of the in-game map.
Yeah.
That one actually has locations on it. Let me see if I can go find that because I know where it is. Have more than one or just have one?
Person.
Ah, well.
Person left.
Okay.
Okay, so
the second one is more recent and it just kind of shows everything. The textures didn't generate for shit.
okay, so where's the one you're talking about?
Vork Hall on the if you open up the main, I'll show you on stream actually. It'll be easier.
Okay, hold on.
If you open up the stream, you can see the Dwemer ruin on the left.
Oh, okay, so it's that
The
one.
Dwemer ruin mark is on the left. Yeah.
Okay, that gives me an idea then. Where does the player start?
I'll just open up the game. That'll be a lot easier as well.
Well, just show me on the map. Like, where's the port?
It's that city in the south.
Oh, that area right
Yeah,
there?
the one that on the second one. Ow, that was loud.
Okay.
Has the towers and shit on it.
Okay. Okay, so no, that can still work. So I'm like thinking like, okay, so like multi-level dungeon here with like multiple doors that need to be unlocked, going to other dungeons
Kind of like
around.
you have to find certain. You have to go clear out of the dungeons to get a key to go open that piece. Type of deal.
Yeah, and it's like you go into the main dungeon, okay?
Yeah.
Main door into this dungeon is closed. Like the first room, it's like you cannot access that door. All right.
Maybe instead of having it so far away, it should be closer. Do you see that
Yeah.
Nordic ruin directly north of Last Shore, the city mark?
Yeah,
That's currently called Rich Peak, and that's the little camp there is actually Bastion Rennick's camp. He gets captured by some bandits later on.
Yeah, I mean that would probably work. So like my idea here is like big fucking door, alright? It's like just like it cannot be opened at this time. But in front of that door is a pedestal and it has an item on it. And you pick up the item and you're just suddenly attacked by a ton of Dwemer
Constructs.
Yeah, and then it's like you have to take that item somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to put that item into another pedestal, which will unlock the door for that dungeon. You complete that dungeon, you get the item from that dungeon, bring it back, open the door in the original dungeon.
Okay.
And then you would just do that like 3 times.
Interesting. What if it's like instead of it being something that looks set up by the original creator, it's like there's a dead skeleton or a body there with the key, possibly one of the other bounty hunters that was hired. If we go with the bounty hunter route, and you have to take that key and it doesn't fit for this location, you go to a different one, fits there, then you have to go through that dungeon, you get another key which does fit the door, but it also fits another door at a different location, a different dungeon.
I don't see why you would do that though.
I mean, because
like my idea is player goes to location A, player then has to go to location B
to get the key to location A.
Yeah, get the key to location A. Go into location A. Go deeper into location A. Grab a key for location C.
Mm-hmm.
Go to location C. Grab the second key for location A. Come back. Place it, and then you would do location D, and then go back, return, and then that would be the full dungeon.
That's kind of the thing as well as like having to go back to that dungeon every single time is annoying as fuck.
You could set it up where it's like there's elevators that would bring you out to
Yeah.
a point.
That's why I'm thinking instead of it being like that, it's, you get the key to location A at location B, and the key to location, the initial key to location A is also the key to location D. And to get to the key to location C, you have to go through location A, and once you get to that second door, that's where the other key is. You have to proceed through location A to get the key to location C, so you can go get the key to the next door of location A. If you go to location D, you can get the key, but it won't be to the door at the second level. If that makes sense at all.
It makes sense to me, but it's like I don't know.
It makes
I've
it a little less linear. Is the
I've
idea.
always been a fan of a little bit of backtracking here and there.
Yeah, it's definitely still going to be a lot of backtracking.
I
It's
just
just
I
instead of
don't
it
know.
being
Like doing that out of order to me doesn't seem like it would work very well.
I mean, if it doesn't work in execution, we could just switch the keys around.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those cases where it's like I would feel like if I wanted to make this feel like some sort of grand vault sort deal, I would have like I would definitely have them more spaced out so that way.
I'm thinking.
But thing is, it's like I would try to increase the difficulty of the dungeons properly, so that way it would like feel like you're actively progressing instead of just backtracking to location whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I get you.
So it's like it's more so I see it more as like as long as you don't overdo it, it's fine.
It'll probably be 3 locations and then the central dungeon.
Yeah.
Like 3 satellite locations, because 3 is a good number. 2 makes it could be too quick. 4 gets too tedious. 3 is usually good zone.
Yeah, but no, 3's fine. I'm just pointing out that it's like, what if you did like, because it's just that thing. It's like I enjoy level design like that, where it's like there's a bit of a thought process into how it functions and everything, and of course it's quite limited in Skyrim with how you can do it, but.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a thing of like you have to go turn on switches at these locations instead.
That would be cool, actually.
Instead of finding keys to a door.
I mean, you could do it where it's like you have to turn on the switches and grab the key on the way out.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea as well. It's like a switch to open.
This is
one of the other
this
satellite
is,
locations.
Yeah. This is like the power. Like this is the generator room where it's like it's next to a body of water where it uses steam to pump steam all the way to
and
that
one's
location.
deep down and it uses thermal energy. And then one, since I have a soul gem mine, is using giant soul gem crystals, which are filled to power it. That's actually really interesting.
Soul gems, I think, would be cool for like the summoning process.
Well, that's where the primary one will be built around giant soul gems.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm going to be kind of pulling from Pillars of Eternity a bit with that.
I don't play Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So like in Pillars of Eternity, there's a material called Luminous Audra, which literally holds the souls of beings, and it's used to power things in the world, which is really cool. And I plan to use that core concept of souls powering things, which is also a fucking thing I do in my D&D world. I have a whole subsect of magic based on souls and soul gems. So, this guy, instead of experimenting with the divine heart, was experimenting with different soul energy, soul gems.
Yeah.
Instead.
So you have like 3 locations. One's like a power plant. The other could be like a
Earth, wind, and fire.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's cheesy.
I mean, it is if you go down to the bare essentials, everything's cheesy. But if you do it in an interesting enough way, it's great. One is built on waterfalls, but it's lava. That's fucking awesome. uses
I wouldn't do that.
thermal energy to heat it.
I personally wouldn't do that.
One uses souls. One uses steam from water, and the other one uses fuck if I know.
Well, okay, hold on. So it's like you'd have a power plant that would use like steam energy from like lava and
Yeah.
water.
That's what I'm thinking. Is like it uses the magma to help create the steam.
Yeah. So okay. So like the next location could be um, like what could we use there? Could be like, I don't know, Gear City. Like, I don't know, Gear Puzzle would be involved or some shit like that.
Yes, Jack?
I heard a kitty.
You do hear a cat. He's a loud cat. I think he wants out of my window. Is this quest writing for 1,000 Monkey Isles? Of course it is, Armac. Of course it is. Also, Garfield, I see you there, buddy. So, we also now have to plan out 3 other Dwemer dungeons, because there's only one planned right now.
See, didn't you say that the main one was powered by...
Yes.
Okay, so why would the one location be powered by giant soul gems?
That it's the one location is the main location. So
I would have that separate. I would have that
This
separate.
is just like so I have it for when I start going back and organizing these thoughts in a better way.
Yeah.
So one location powered by steam, one location powered by... Honestly, the thermal energy idea isn't horrible.
I mean, isn't steam just thermal energy?
I mean, kind of. I
Oh,
mean,
wait,
like...
no.
Actually,
I'm stupid.
I mean, it depends on how you use it. What, Jack? You're a stinky kitty. I hope you know that. Get up! Stop rubbing the microphone. You're the worst. It's 5 in the morning. It means again with the microphone rubbing, dude. I'm sorry if that sounds horrible.
Getting that pussy all over the mic.
I'm just gonna push it away further so he's not pushing it away. So one location powered by steam, the main one by soul gems.
Hold on. Okay, types of...
One powered by nuclear energy. No.
I'm gonna split the fucking atom.
What if that's what he was doing? Maybe water. That's kind of what steam is, water, friend.
Oh, what if?
But a giant water wheel is cool. I like that. But just say steam is water.
You could do tidal. Oh no, hydroelectric. You could have like a dam or some shit that you have to turn on.
Okay, Jack. What the hell? Why'd you just do that? Okay, then. That was weird. Like I went to push him, like take him, put him off, and he fucking jumped. Like he sprinted. He was from my lap to 5 feet away in a second. That was insane. Powered by hydroelectric. All of these are related to water.
I don't know. It's like, unfortunately,
A giant water wheel is kind of the hydroelectric one.
I don't know, unless you can figure out a way to do wind turbines.
I mean, they're Dwemer.
They're Dwemer, but it's like, where would you put the wind turbines? Maybe they could be outside the dungeon. I don't know.
That's kind of the thing. Is wind turbines is a bit much. Okay, we've been going for 2 hours. I'm gonna go take a real quick break, let my cat out so he stops annoying the fuck out of me. I'll be back in a few minutes. I have returned.
Welcome.
Okay, so I was thinking about the giant soul gems a little bit. What if instead of having them be the standard like purple or black, it's like a dark emerald green? And it's filled with the souls of the other Dwemer that were at his city when he was summoned, when he went to the plane of oblivion.
I feel like that's like off, because it's like the it's like, would you have enough Dwemer on that location to power giant soul gems?
I mean, we don't know how many Dwemer were usually in a location.
I'm gonna estimate a couple thousand, usually, in the
Yeah.
normal sense.
And it doesn't take much to power a black soul gem.
But I mean, like the way that like you've set this island up, it seems more like it's just sort of like a laboratory off
Mm.
the coast, and it would be like only maybe about 30 or 40.
That's fair.
So it's like
No, I get you. Okay, that's a fair point.
what would that, like? I mean, what could you use the soul gems for though? Like, what would be the excuse for that? Armok, souls of monkeys.
Souls of monkeys, yeah. No, it's Akaviri souls. No, wouldn't be out of the realm. Hmm.
What if it was like, I don't know, what if the soul gems are filled because of like Frostfall?
That could be interesting. What year did Frostfall happen?
Way before the first era.
Hmm.
Way before it. Like like when Frostfall occurred, like that was like when the Dwemer and the Nords were actually at war with each other. Or actually, no. Am I wrong? Am I stupid?
No, I don't know. I do like the idea of Day of Death just had though. What if it's not fully powered yet, and you have to kill things to power them up? Because I mean, reasonably speaking, if I recall, all the Dwemer constructs are all powered by soul gems. Like the spheres and the spiders are all powered by soul gems, right?
They're all powered by soul gems, but it's like, let's see here.
They're petty, I believe.
There was the Nordic Falmer War.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. The Dwemer. Okay, so the surviving snow elves pled with the Dwemer for aid and quarter. The Dwemer initially agreed to their plea, offering them refuge in the dwarven cities, but later ended up betraying and enslaving them. The Dwemer are believed to have mass poisoned the snow elves by forcing them to eat a fungi that would cause blindness. Okay. What if it was like, yeah, like what if the Dwemer were utilized, or I don't know. Like I want to say like the soul gems could be filled from some sort of like radial attack
Like
or
a
whatever
radiant
from like
quest. Oh,
no,
what if you
like
could use a shout to charge them?
that'd be interesting. Well, I'm
Like,
saying more like a radial like sort of thing. Like it was just kind of like a buffer zone around the island during Frostfall, and it caused Nords that were fleeing from Atmora to end up being caught within that radius.
and their souls were all sucked in.
Yeah.
Is this at the time of when he ascended, or at a different time? Do we think?
This could be before it.
Because I think
Because the
maybe
Numidium because the Numidium event didn't happen until after the Nord showed up on Tamriel.
yeah, that's kind of what that's fair. So it would have been well after that, and so
Yeah,
the Nords would have been on Tamriel for a while at this point.
yeah, yeah.
How powerful is the Dragonborn soul? It's supposed to be pretty
I'm,
powerful, right?
I'm assuming fucking powerful enough to.
Maybe. What if, because a lot of people have excess dragon souls after a while. What if you can use dragon souls? Like, you have to have a dragon soul to power it.
That would be interesting, but you would need to have a dragon on the island.
No? You just have to go back, absorb a soul, don't spend it, and come back.
Or if you're like me, you turn all the souls into skill points.
Fair. I forgot you can do that.
No, you can't. I have a mod that allows me to go to where the 3 standing stones are when you first start the game,
Yeah.
and you can exchange dragon souls for skill points.
Interesting. Yeah, no. I think being able to spend dragon souls to charge it up would be interesting.
I would maybe put 1 or 2 dragons on the island then at that point,
Yeah, that's also the other thing is
because otherwise
it's far
you
enough
might...
north that there isn't any dragons. Because if I recall, Solstheim doesn't have any dragons. It doesn't spawn any, right?
Solstheim is also like northeast.
Yeah, and my island is further northeast of that.
Oh.
It's 3 days
I mean,
travel
well,
from.
okay, no, the dragons
Dawnstar.
came from Atmora though.
Interesting.
So you could argue that the dragons during the time of Frostfall went with the ancient Nords to whatever.
What can you do with a Dwarven Centurion core?
I think it's used in like 1 alchemy recipe.
A Dwarven Centurion core?
Yeah. It's used for something. I think you can actually
Dynamo core, that's it.
I think you can actually smelt it down into something. They are one of several difficult to obtain items needed to conjure Daedric armor and Daedric weapons at the Atronach Forge.
And 3 are required to access the chamber in Dragonborn.
Yes.
I was gonna say, kind of the same thing. What if it's like you can use 5 dynamo cores to charge it? Like you have to have 5 dynamo cores or a dragon soul. Like have that as an option.
What if? Oh, okay. What if the last door in the dungeon required the key from another dungeon and the dynamo cores?
How do you mean?
Like, okay, you have the 5 slots. Okay, so it's like you have the main slot, like the pedestal where the main key goes, and then you have 5 more pedestals surrounding that one, with a 6th one in front of it with a dynamo cord in it, so the player knows what to grab. And then throughout the whole dungeon, the main dungeon, you could have like centurions with the dynamo core on them, and so at most the player would only have to go walking around the dungeon and finding the corpses.
There's gonna be a centurion in each dungeon, so I'd say at the very most, it'd be like 3, just so you have them. Like if the player doesn't know to get them, like, and they go sell them, they're like, fuck, now I gotta go get more
You can
dynamo
mark
cores.
them as quest items, though.
Yeah, but then that sells it away. I want the player to be able to sell the shit away and fuck themselves over. Because here's something in Cascadia with quest design.
If you sell them, a tiny note raises out from the floor that says "fuck you."
The quest design philosophy of Cascadia was fuck the player. For a while it was. I'm not sure if it is anymore.
It might still be.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
What I've heard, it might still be.
But generally speaking, fuck the player is like half of me. So I'm not opposed to allowing the player to screw themselves over. Honestly, a massive dynamo core is probably what I'm going to do for the other location, because it works.
Take this, upscale by 10. Alright, we're good to go.
After getting new textures, Jesus. Like, get the 4K textures for it. Because then it'll look good. It's like 256 for standard dynamo cores or something.
But then you're not going to have that authentic Bethesda experience.
That's the thing I was just thinking about with the Soul Gym. Is it's like either just upscale one real big, or create a thing for it, you know. Anyway, where was I? The actual quest line. We got so wrapped up in the specifics of the dungeons and not the quest line. That's the problem.
I mean, kind of goes hand in hand when making.
They do, but I want to have the outline of the quests. That was the purpose of the stream, not to plan dungeons. So I'm gonna put. We need to place locations: one powered by steam, one powered by perpetual motion machine, one powered by a water wheel. So I have the Rich Peak. That's gonna be a Dwemer location. I'm going to turn that into a Dwemer location, so I'm going to go to my overview. Where's Rich Peak? Minor locations. So Rich Peak, Fjornholk, both of those will be converted to major locations under Vorkal. Construct Factory and Research Center. Wow, you know what's funny? I'm keeping in the same thing of new power tech. Fjornholk is going to be renamed. Cool is fine. Rich Peak. I'm gonna keep Rich Peak as what's known as now type of thing. You know, it's like it's currently called Rich Peak, even though it isn't. That's not the Dwemer name for it.
Mm-hmm.
So what should I call the Dwemer station?
I don't know, just throw something Russian in there. I'm sure you'll get something.
I don't need that anymore. Right over here. Rich Peak. Call it fine. So those are the three. Vorkal will be the main one. And that's the one in the upper left. Then there's going to be one beneath White Ridge, in like several layers down in the mine. That's how they discovered there's Dwemer ruins here at all. So you have to find the locations. You have to find a map of the island inside of the White Ridge Dwemer ruin. Yeah, that'll work. Or the one under White Ridge is the big one, and that is Vorkal. And then we'll just move a different one in the location of where the current Vorkal is labeled.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Not my choice. I'm busy making a cannibal's house.
Okay, I guess we're doing this. So we'll call it.
I really want to go get McDonald's breakfast right now, but I don't want to be fat.
You really don't. It sucks. Kazgar. It'll be Kazgar.
Kazgardian.
My Kazgardians. Kazgardium Leviosa.
Kazgardians, and it's the home of Thur in low key.
It's low-key the home of Thor.
Thur.
Of Thrawn. Oh, I did the button. Sorry. I goofed. I pressed all the wrong buttons. At least it didn't stop streaming like it does randomly sometimes. So we have Vorkal. That's... no. Zalkul. Bizalul. Bizajul. Jalul. Bijal. Bijal. Bijalul. It's Bijalu. Bijalul. Kazgar, and Rich Peak. I need to... Can't be Rich Peak now. Blafrak. That's great. Kanak. Duznok. Uznuk. There. So it's Vorkal, Jalul, Kazgar, and Duznok are our dungeons. So, Vorkal, powered by giant soul gems. We'll do Jalul, how did I say it? I've already forgotten. Bajul, powered by steam. Kazgar by a water wheel. And Duznok, powered by the perpetual motion machine. So, now we've got our dungeons, which is great. Now let's fucking write our quest outline. I'm gonna keep, we're gonna move this over to the left monitor, which does work. Great. So, report to Velena Venetian. Instead of reporting to Velena Venetian, I imagine, it'll be to the person who hires you instead of the East Empire Trading Company. So, who hires you?
Big dick boy. There we go.
Alright, so, not listening to that. So, Bastion gets kidnapped.
What, immediately?
With, like, a week in, like, you'll have time to explore the island. He'll give you a task to go. Report to someone else.
Okay, here's a good question. Why kidnap him?
Because he's rummaging through ruins and there's bandits on the island. Honestly, at this point, the kidnapping thing doesn't necessarily have to happen. But, I mean, him getting in a situation where the player has to rescue him is cool. It should still happen.
Fuck, what was it? Didn't Worms Tooth do something similar to that? Where it's like the main quest giver guy gets kidnapped or some shit by bandits and you have to rescue him?
Possibly. I mean, it could be a thing of he gets stuck in one of the locations. Is there a magical message sending? Like, can you send someone like a magic message? Be like, hey, I'm talking to you, kind of like you can in D&D, or no? I guess they're sending scrolls.
Though idea. Does this guy know magic at all?
Bastion? Oh yeah.
Okay, then why not have him? Then you could make a secondary NPC that would appear as an ethereal ghost that he can be like, oh yeah, I'm sending this out from my body, which is located here because I can't do anything, and then the ghost just kind of fades when you're done.
What if? Okay, maybe I could, instead of it being a thing of like, oh, you gotta go. He tells you, it's like you go to report back to him in Last Shore, and it's like, he's gone. He hasn't come back while the others have. And someone's like, last I heard, he went up to Duznock, and he was rummaging through there, and then you go find him.
Thing is, I kind of like the idea that astral or not
The astral projection.
Yeah, the, like using a ghost NPC as like a way of like, yeah, I'm fucking stuck here. Come save me.
I kind of like it too. Meet up with the contact. Meet up with Bastion Rennick.
Yeah, but no, getting stuck in a dungeon sounds way better than just being randomly kidnapped.
I mean, it's kind of this. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of the same thing.
Because I mean,
meet up with Bastion Rennick.
Because yeah, it's like to me it doesn't make sense. It's just like, okay, every other bandit in this game has proven that all they want to do is kill everybody. So why would they kidnap him?
So he goes to the Frozen Froth Inn. That's where you meet him instead of on the ship, because he's going to be the one hiring you and the other people instead. You go to the Frozen Froth Inn. He talks to you, tells you the situation. From there, which location do we want to go? Have the player go to first? Or would this be a thing of he and the player that instead go to Vorkal to investigate the location that they know about, White Ridge? Yeah, that's how it's gonna have to go.
You would go to the central dungeon first and then work your way backwards. So, yeah.
Should this be a thing of like, oh, I guess time to do some research, or it's like they find the maps in the dungeon?
What if the... Okay, I don't remember if this was a part of the original... Oh my god,
Just go ahead.
Sotho likes Morrowind's combat better than Skyrim's. I'm gonna go throw myself off a fucking building. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Say what you were saying again.
Should it be a thing of they find maps within the as they explore through Vorkal, the dungeon,
so
before the main door?
I don't recall if this was an actual thing ever used in Skyrim. I think it was. What if you had like a giant like a giant Dwemer like sort wall that like had like the locations and whatnot on them, and it was like a picture of the island engraved on it, and then you could have like charcoal and paper like to like trace the map or whatever.
That's interesting.
Because
like an engraved map of the island, instead of it being like a giant wall, it'd be enough to fit a charcoal paper over. Okay, I like that.
I mean, you could have like a tiny pedestal or something with it on it too, and be like, "Here, use this," and it's like, "All right, cool." Because I don't think the Dwemer would just have a map lying around.
I think it wouldn't be, like an accurate, like, this is the island's map. It'd probably be a thing of, like, these are where our power sources are coming from. Or...
Actually, what would be interesting about, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it could be like a thing. But the what I think could be creative with it is, like, you could have, like, one location, two locations, and then, like, wherever the third location is, you could have, like, it broken off, so the player actually has to go find it.
Interesting. Part of me wants to have it be like, if the player doesn't do enough investigating, Bastion finds it out. Just as a backup thing.
You could do that.
Like after 2 in-game weeks, if the player is actively looking for it, Bastion will find out after 2 in-game weeks.
I mean, yeah, it's like
just as a fallback. Like
your island isn't massive.
It's a small island, but still, it's going to be a thing of you're going to have to go through that Underdark area.
If we've learned anything from Bruma,
players are fucking idiots.
Yeah, players are fucking idiots.
So, at some point in the dungeon, the party will discover a small...
Oh no, I dropped the paperclip and now I can't see it.
...map of the island / other Dwemer cities.
But yeah, you could have, like, a chunk of that map, like, just kind of missing and broken off and whatnot, and it's
Part of me thinks instead of having a chunk be broken off, you only find a chunk. And you have to, it's like you have to rebuild the map first.
No, that's
too much.
Yeah, that's too much work on top of what you would already be doing.
I mean, what if the map is that's an idea. What if the map is actually the key to the final door? Like the map piece is the key, and you have to, once you go through the dungeons, you find the map.
Too cheesy for the Dwemer.
Fuck you.
I'm not kidding. It's like, I don't think the Dwemer would have, like, some sort of, like, well-crafted key for a giant door. They wouldn't make it, like, just pieces of a map.
I mean, it's not like paper map. It would be...
Yeah, no, that's what, like, I get that.
I get
but it's like, it would be, like, metal... Like, I know what you're thinking, like, metal pieces, but it's like, why would it be a map, though? It's like, what reason would there be for that? They would pick something, like, of rare material.
What if it's, like, the power sources are the keys to the door, and the door is the wall with the map?
Well, then that would work. It'd just be glowing lights then.
That's kind of what I meant to say, but I was really bad at saying it.
Oh. Shame on
That's
you.
regardless. So the player
Shame
will
on
head
you
to
saying
one of the
wrong.
other 3 dungeons. Bastion will head to...
Why the fuck am I helping you exactly? I said I wasn't going to.
You said you weren't going to help with level design. And it's because it's interesting, and you love me. No, I just need to
disagree on stuff, but sure.
I mean, I'm wonderful, and you know it. I'm kidding. So that's actually kind of the direction I'm headed today. As you find more pieces of this map or the keys, it allows power to go through other parts of the map. Additional idea. You can just go to the 3 dungeons, activate them if you want. But as you activate the dungeons, more of those dungeons are opened as well. I mean, it's...
I don't know how I would do that, though. That's the thing.
That's just like a side quest thing. Not part of the main quest. Like, you open the switch, not only does it power this location, it powers one of the other ones. Like, as the power grid grows throughout all of them, some of their stuff starts turning on more and more.
Oh, so it's like, it doesn't matter what order you do it in, by the end of it, you're fighting hordes of fucking enemies.
Yeah, I mean, the order you do it in isn't going to be... It's not going to be a set order. It's like, you're going to head to one of the dungeons, no matter what, while Bastion will go to a different one. Bastion and the Bounty Hunters will go to different ones. So say the player decides, I'm going to go to... how the fuck was I saying that earlier? Bjalul? Say the player heads to Bjalul. Bastion would head to Duznok. And the other one would go to Kaziar. Straight up. So, Bastion will always go to Duznok. If the player doesn't go there, Bastion will always go there, and then he'll go to Khazgar second. So if the player goes to Duznak, he'll go to Khazgar. If the player goes to Bajul, the bounty hunters go to Khazgar, and then Bajul second. So
You said that there's other bounty hunters that are...
bounty hunters / people that were hired to do it. Instead of it being like they're all hunting bounties, it's mercenaries.
So everybody's after a similar prize, but...
They're all hired by Bastion to do this. You're all working on towards the same goal.
Oh.
Is what I'm thinking now, instead of it being against each other.
Okay, I don't know how deep your lore is on that. Maybe... just saying, but maybe a good idea would be maybe multiple parties are after the same thing. Because
maybe. I mean, that's kind of the thing with the mercenaries.
The issue I'm seeing with that is you may end up running into similarities with Worm's Tooth a lot, because I know like they bring in like a whole mercenary team to fight dragons and whatnot.
Worm's Tooth?
Yeah. So maybe as a good idea you could have multiple people trying to fight for a similar goal.
I'm thinking after you discover the White Ridge dungeon and go through Vork Hall, other groups will be more involved. Because at this point it's like a rumor that there's something there, so a couple people would be going. But the Bastion's group and the player are the successful ones in getting there first.
Yeah,
and once they get to Vork Hall, then it's an arms race.
Yeah, it's just I'm just worried that.
And that's why then we can have Bastion still be kidnapped. Instead of it being by bandits, it's by one of these other mercenary companies who wants the information he has.
Could do that. Yeah, I'm just worried that you'll end up hitting that Worm's Tooth similarity where it's like,
I have no idea what Worm's Tooth is.
Wait, you really?
Dude, fuck no.
It's a mod that takes players to a little island similar to yours in the Sea of Ghosts and the whole East Empire Company is dealing with a problem there, and they gather the Dragonborn and this like team of dragon fighters to go kill this dragon on the island. And it's a good mod. I highly suggest playing it.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I would probably play it for the sake of making sure you don't step on toes.
I mean, is it really stepping on toes if you're not actively, if you don't know about it? It is.
I mean,
but I was also thinking the other two mercenaries betray you anyway. Like, they were hired, they realized, hey, there's a lot of money in this. They either betray each other, or they betray the Bastion and the player.
Now it's like I'm just asking, why not just make dead money?
I mean, that's the problem. The two mercenaries is just like an additional character. It's just additional characters to have a more of a twist and turn type of quest line.
I would say if you're gonna do that, make sure the mercenaries aren't flatline characters.
I'm gonna try to make sure they have their own motives and shit too. It's not like 3 quests in they're gonna betray you. It's gonna be like at the end.
What if one of the mercenaries comes from Morrowind, and it's like, I could help my house.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly
X.
something like that. It's one of them might be, this is just money, or it could be a thing of, I could get something out of it that'll benefit other people as well as me. Right now, I'm just plotting it out. The specifics will come later. Player will head to one of the other 3 dungeons. Bastion and the mercenaries will head to the others. Hey, you there. Also tried to cross the border. Yeah. You were caught trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush. Same as that thief over there. Stop! You violated the law! Okay.
What if you just bring back the guy that got shot with the arrow at the start of Skyrim?
I'm the BBEG. You're not gonna kill me.
It's like, yeah, it turns out I didn't. Yeah, I didn't actually die. I was just stunned. It was a stun arrow.
Turns out they couldn't really kill me, and now I am the Daedric Lord. No, that's dumb. If it was Mimi, then sure.
No. I was like one of the mercenary guys. Because I'm making. Oh wait, no. Cyrodiil doesn't have goat models yet because we're fucking stupid. That's right. Did I tell you what I wanted to do with the Cyrodiil Discord?
No.
I wanted to make a fake Cyrodiil Discord, and I wanted to lock all the channels, or just lock one channel. Nobody can post in it, only you can view it, and it's only a single picture of "Stop! You have violated the law."
Interesting.
And I would just hand that out to people in the Discord chat. It would be like Cyrodiil development server.
So, do we want him to be stuck in the dungeon or kidnapped by another group of mercenaries?
I'll leave that up to you.
I'm kind of for both. What if I could change it depending on the dungeon that the player goes to?
Oh, so alternate pathing and
It wouldn't have an
scenarios.
effect on the overall thing. It would just
It would be the
every
same
playthrough
thing.
makes it a
Just,
little different.
yeah, the same thing, just different version.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be cool. I need to add cobwebs, and then I think I'm done with this house. And then get bitched at for using prefab. Christ, I really want McDonald's.
So, should it be a thing of depending on the one you go to, Bastion will go to a different one? Or, I mean, he's going to go to a different one anyway. But it should it be a thing of he only goes to one of two? Or is it like he will go to all three depending on the one you choose?
He could go to the one, he could go to the opposite one of which one you choose.
Okay.
Like, I think that'd make the most sense to me. Thing is, you'd have to like figure out like, okay, this is the point in which like the quest advances because this idiot gets captured or gets locked in the cell or whatever.
I mean, I've already decided when that'll happen. Because it's like you go to your dungeon, you clear it out, you return to the camp, and you find out he's not there, but the other mercenaries have returned with the other key. Squeaky squeak. Or they return and like one of them's dead, and depending on again which one you choose, the other changes which one's dead, and they return empty-handed. That could also be cool. Maybe. Let's go to Khazgar. So I need to actually place these locations down before we continue, so I can figure out what's nearby.
Strippers.
Well, that's canon now.
Gay strippers.
Standard strippers, man.
Argonian strippers, alright.
Best. No. Okay, so this is the labeled map.
You're gonna have an Argonian somewhere in this mod that says stay moist, aren't you?
We'll find out. We'll find out. So I need to actually place these locations down, and these are going to be quest locations.
Fuck
Lusty
the Lusty
Argonian maid.
No, fuck the Lusty Argonian maid. We have the moist Argonian king.
The only Argonian king. Canon Argonian king.
What if he's just a guy that it's like he's not actually king of anything? He's just kind of found a crown, put it on, and walks around.
And now everyone's like, "He's a king, I guess." It's just like everyone's like, "Yeah, I guess he's a king."
Oh no, he's just delusional as shit. It's like Mike the Liar, except just dumber.
Mike?
Whatever.
Mike the Liar.
Mike. I'm tired. Fuck you.
So Cactus, that's actually kind of something I'm thinking about right now is what it'll be like, what the other group is. You know, it's the mercenaries will change depending on something like that. They could be privateers. They could be someone who's trying to, you know, figure out something with the Dunmer on their own. Not the Dunmer, the Dwemer on their own.
Just saying, but like the more we talk about this, the more I still think you should probably try for BS application.
I already have.
I mean, you didn't try hard enough.
I mean, I really didn't try hard. Okay, so now I have the locations placed. Let's rename this. So Rich Peak becomes... let's gonna move all these over to the left monitor, just so I have them. Rich Peak becomes Duznok. Bjornholk has become Asgar. This up here, Vorkal, becomes... actually, that'll become Khazgar. This Khazgar will become Jaulul. Okay.
If a Khajiit eats a person, is it technically cannibalism?
If it's a Khajiit, yes. If it's not a Khajiit, no. It's just eating people. Okay, so where should I put the camp? Probably somewhere near White Ridge.
Wait, so his camp?
Actually, you know what? What if it was outside Vorkal?
It's
probably in the caves.
Yeah, it would probably be outside the main dungeon.
That's yeah, I like that. So right now we have the new locations planned. So Khazgar, Duznak, and Bjalul. It's fucking sucky to say. Bjalul. Are all placed down and in their proper locations now, which is good. So the camp will be, you know, just outside the actual mine. Let's bring this over again, which is good. He ends up. I opened that. I'm dumb.
Stop being dumb.
I opened it explicitly for the purpose of figuring out what the fuck is where, and then I closed it.
Can't say I've never done that before.
Khazgar. Okay, so Khazgar, we have Fort Northwatch, which is where some werewolves are. Reasonable place to be captured by. There's Basin Hollow, which I haven't decided quite what it is, but it could be anything. Khazgar seems like the place where he'd get stuck. Yeah, Khazgar is where he's gonna get stuck.
I want my name in the credits for this.
Okay, I'll go add you.
It's like inadvertently helped.
The team. SSX. Story assistance. Narrative design. You are now narrative design.
Talking out of his ass.
I mean, that's narrative design anyway, isn't it? I actually need to add everybody anyway, so thanks for reminding me.
Oh.
I'm missing a few people. So we got Dardarus. Narrative design, I'm going to put you under the writers. RB. Writing. Ishi. Writer.
I like how you're doing. I like how you're doing like this whole major advanced quest sort of thing, and I'm over here making an old lady's cannibal house.
Hayden. Asset creator. And I have. Oh, Garfield, level designer.
Wait, fog. I need fog. Shit.
There, updated. Anyway. Sick.
Yes.
Okay. He ends up stuck inside of a trap that he can't get out of. Player must defeat. Must defeat one Dwarven Centurion? Must defeat a Dwarven Centurion to unlock it.
Defeat all the Dwarven Centurions. Defeat them all.
And if the player goes to Khazgar, Bastion will go to Raoul. Oh no, music, stop. That's a quick way to get copyright struck. I ain't down for that, Chief. Jalul. So I have one, he's kidnapped by mercenaries. One, he ends up stuck inside of a trap. What should the third one be? Dies. No.
It wipes out reality.
He spawns the new medium. He becomes a power. No. So
Well, can't get a BS. Can't get into Beyond Skyrim anymore.
I said the words that are forbidden. I don't want him to die. So I don't.
Landfall.
You know, like if he dies, that kind of throws out the
All
quest
of
line.
Coda becomes canon.
It becomes the fifth era right then and there, and it progresses hundreds of years. What would be an interesting alternative? So, kidnapped by a group of mercenaries and held for ransom or whatever, defeat, ends up stuck inside of a trap, or something else. What's a good alternative? Get caught in a chest. He gets stuck inside of a chest. Great. Perfect. Canon. No. Would he be kidnapped again by a different group?
No, I wouldn't repeat that twice.
Or actually, if he goes to Khazgar, he doesn't have to be rescued. He makes it up fine.
What if he's being what if he's under attack by like Draugr or Falmer or something?
He gets trapped, like in a room instead of in a
Well,
trap.
like when you show up in the dungeon, like he's fighting off Draugr and Falmer or whatever.
I mean, being captured by Falmer isn't horrible.
Well, no, I wouldn't want it to be like, oh, we have to go save his stupid ass from X or X. Like, I would also probably add in like
That's kind of
like
why I'm thinking.
I would add it in like you show up at the dungeon and it's like
right now one is you have to save a stupid ass from mercenaries. You have to save a stupid ass from a dwarven centurion. So this is either you have to save a stupid ass from other thing, or you don't have to save a stupid ass at all. Like, if you go to one location, everything goes off without a hitch. That makes it real easy to just skip the quest line. So something has to happen where he gets stuck. Or,
yeah.
those two are fine, then you have to go save the mercenaries that are with you.
That'd be an interesting twist, I guess. Maybe the third dungeon is you have to save more on number 352. Okay, I think this is done.
Oh! that could be the way to have them betray you quicker. Because right now, if he goes to Duznok, then he's kidnapped by a group of Centurions. A group of mercenaries. And right now...
I pity the person who has to do this quest lineup.
To implement it, it's going to be me.
I pity you.
So actually, what if instead of at Bajul, instead of Duznok where he gets kidnapped, he's fine there, but instead of in Bajul, he gets kidnapped. He gets kidnapped in Bajul. Or I've said that 4 times. That makes no sense. You get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I get it.
One look, I'm switching around, so he ends up fine. The other mercenaries get stuck in a different location.
Yeah.
Which would be Bajul. Which would be Khazgar. Khazgar is the... Okay, never mind. This is complicated. So there's mercenaries at Duznok. Khazgar is a dwarven centurion. And Bajul is anything else. Is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wolf's Bane smells good, right?
As far as I know.
Okay.
So the mercenaries get captured in Duznok, and will get stuck. And we'll be fine through Bajul. Or they'll... So if the player goes to Bajul, not only does it have to rescue one of them... No, that's fine. Okay. So would we prefer the mercenaries, the other mercenaries in your group, get captured by the Dwarven Centurion as well? Or...
A Dwarven Centurion isn't going to capture anybody. They're going to kill him.
Sorry, they're stuck in the trap and you have to defeat the Centurion.
I would make it where they're stuck in a room with dwarven mechanisms outside.
Yeah, that's kind of why you have to defeat the Centurion.
Yeah, and then when you show up and you defeat them, it activates the Centurion.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I would do that.
That is Khazgar. So if the player goes to Khazgar, you have to you get stuck in that trap.
Just do whatever you think is necessary. I'm so lost at this point.
Honestly, okay. Duznok is mercenaries. Khazgar is the Centurions. What is that Bajul, if anything?
Something. As much as I can offer at this point.
That's fair. That's why I'm thinking nothing's at Bajul. Like it's like just this. It's a Centurion, but there's no trap or anything. And instead of Bastion being kidnapped, the other mercenaries get kidnapped. So, yeah, I'm gonna continue with that. It's fine.
It's fine. It's all fine, guys.
Okay, once you give him the key that you get, someone fails in their mission at some point. So you have to go, so that it's not like, you all go out, get the keys, and come back successfully. Because of course that's the plan, and it's a video game. Plans can't go right. Without the player being involved, plans don't go right.
Fair enough.
I mean, I could have it be the plans go right, and then you have to go back to the dungeons again because they're now all activated to go to the lower levels.
I'm brain dead at this point.
Like, I'm overcomplicating this, don't worry. Fuck. Kill me. Okay.
I prefer showing my Chad aura in terms of turn-based, stat-based RPG action. Sotho's weird, man.
Chad aura. Jesus. I prefer playing a game that actually works.
Yeah.
How about that? So I play Oblivion.
Oof.
Dude, Oblivion actually runs way better than both of them. Like, it actually works.
I won't lie. It took me like 3 months to even get Oblivion to work for me.
It runs perfectly fine for me.
It
I've
would
literally never
crash.
ever had a problem with it.
It would crash on startup, or it would just lock up at the player screen, the character creation screen, and I couldn't do shit. And it's just like, I don't know what the fuck I did, but I managed to fix it somehow.
So right now there's 3 branches based on the number of dungeons. One is... 2 of them involve one of the party members being kidnapped by mercenaries, and one involves involves Bastion getting kidnapped, stuck in a trap.
Uh-huh.
Should I keep it like that, or should it be a thing of like the player gets stuck in a trap and has to get himself out, and that's the one that actually goes off without a hitch?
I would just do what you think is right on that one, because I honestly don't know where I would go with that.
That's fair.
Because I
Okay.
don't know.
I'm gonna have these 3. Once you get these 3, you open the first gate. You have to go through the dungeon again, and then you reach another gate. In which case, you have to go back to the other dungeons to then, find something else.
Yeah.
Like-
I guess that would work. Soul Gem Shard, where the hell you at? Damn it, Cyrodiil team. Why
Actually,
is
you know
all the...
what? Fuck it. Instead of having it so you get the keys, you go back, you have to go back to the other ones again. That's when you get someone. That's when you summon the other guy, and he sends you back.
All right.
His name will be referred to as Mazargal, even though he had a previous name. That's like a background lore thing.
Sure. At this point, you're just talking to a brick wall.
Yeah, but you offer some little feedback, and it makes it so I'm shouting ideas. I'm actually saying the things out loud so I can hear how dumb they sound. Instead of being like, oh, that's a great idea, and you write it down, you do everything, and then like you tell someone else, you're like, wow, that's fucking dumb, why did I do that? You know?
Am I retarded?
It's like, why did I write this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever written. Why didn't someone stop me?
You know, it's funny. It's like I've actually gone back and read like some of my older stories, and I'm just
You're like, why didn't someone stop me? No one's
when
because you don't ask anyone to
there are
read it.
plenty of those, but then it's like there's some stuff where it's just like, wow, this is actually kind of good. It's like there's stuff I've written that I will not admit on stream.
Mm-hmm. Is it smut? It's smut. It's smut,
It's
y'all.
not. It's not smut. It's
He
not smut.
wrote the additional paragraphs the Lusty Argonian made
No, it's
about
not
putting the
smut.
bread in the oven.
I've actually never written smut.
They're fucking funny. The Lusty Argonian made is fucking funny.
I've never actually written smut. It's weird. I have a character that is basically the embodiment of lust. In
Question.
What?
Would you prefer the player is the one that gets sucked into the Oblivion portal? Or Bastion gets sucked in because you have an attachment to Bastion? And then Mazargal comes out afterwards.
Ooh.
Or is it you just summon Mazargal, he comes out?
I would just summon the guy. It's like, at that point, it's like, I don't think you need much else.
So, his name is now Mazargal, and that's also his realm of Oblivion. I mean, what is Mehrunes Dagon's realm called?
The bitch's palace. I don't know. But no, it's like, yeah, no, I've never written smut. I've got a character in my world building project that is actually a like embodiment.
I just switched the last names around, so now his last name is Yalak Mazargal, and his realm is Navzrin. That works.
It's like the embodiment of lust, and it's like the.
Interesting.
No, I've never fucking.
Never
written
smutted.
Smut. No, never written smut. I
Do
should
it.
probably do it
It's a
sometime. Though.
life-changing experience. I can't say that with a straight face.
Dick goes in hole.
If you're writing like that, it's not going to be life-changing. You piece of shit. You call yourself a writer? Ignore the crashing behind me. That was a cat. It really wasn't.
You just whip something across the room, just like fucking piece of shit. Why don't you write like a normal person?
So Mazargal comes out all friendly.
I wouldn't say friendly. I would say just kind of dazed.
He's not killing outright.
Dazed.
He doesn't send you to the plane of his plane of oblivion instead. How about that?
Just dazed.
And confused.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
You activate it, and Mazargal emerges from his plane of oblivion confused. He has questions pertaining to where he is, who that you are, what happened to his.
What if he
fucking...
recognizes where he's at?
Oh, he's going to. He's like, "Where am I?" He doesn't recognize it at first, and then he realizes, "Oh, this is my laboratory. What the fuck?" What happened to his fucking laboratory?
Yeah, so your ancestors were like, "Fuck this gay Earth," and they left.
Right. He has questions pertaining to where he is, who you are, and what happened to his fucking laboratory.
What happened to my laboratory? Why is there a fucking pillar coming through it?
And why is Edris dead over there? And he's talking about the fucking giant Centurion. You know what? What if he has like a 1.25 scale Centurion that's more powerful and is named Edris? And then he makes another one later called Elba.
I don't know what this reference. I don't know what this
Edris
reference
Elba?
is.
You don't know who Edris Elba is?
Nope, I don't know this reference.
Heimskell? No, Heimdall. In Thor.
Oh, is this Dark World? Because I don't fucking.
He was in all of the Thors.
Oh, was he? I don't.
Heimdall.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, I don't know.
Idris Elba, not Edris. Yeah.
All I know is Loki, Thor, and Odin.
He's the captain. He was the commander in Pacific
Is he the
Rim.
guy with the tattoo on his head and he's bald or some shit?
No, that's Mike Tyson. I'm pretty sure you're thinking. It's this guy. Look on stream.
Hold on, I'm in game right now, looking at a fucking cat. All right. Oh, this guy. He's the dread hair guy. You could have said just the black guy, and I would have known.
That's the thing is most people assume like Sam Jackson still.
Well, no, the black guy from the Thor movies. I'm just like, oh, I know who
Okay,
you're
that
talking about.
would have been fair. That would have been a fair assessment.
It's like he's the only black guy in those movies. All right, time to get yelled at by my project lead about why I should not be using this kit.
You know what? What if Mazargal's like, oh, my people are dead? Okay, I just want to go back home then. Like, he's really sad because it's like, oh, my people are fucking dead now. Okay. I guess I'll just go back to my
What if he
oblivion.
just goes? What if he just goes Aang, basically?
How so?
He finds out
He masters the rest of the elements? He's already fucking...
he finds out that his like Kiatsu guy is dead and he's just like angry.
Angry. That like, it's either he's gonna be pissed and just go on a slaughter spree once he learns his people are dead. He's gonna be pissed and seethe in his anger and pretend to be helpful.
It was on the tip of my tongue for fucking the last 2 hours, and it's like I was trying to remember what it was. You remember the guy from like I'm imagining him like his whole personality, except with a little bit more cynicism under it.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that guy, the synth from Far Harbor, Nick's brother?
Yes, Dima.
I'm imagining the character would be similar to that character, but like a lot more high on their ego and a little bit.
So it's
more...
like, okay, he thinks he's all that.
Yeah, he's like he thinks he's all of that, but he's like less of a condescending prick and more of a egotistical prick in a way. Like once like he comes out of his dazed state.
I'm a Dwemer. I'm better than you. Fuck you. Stuff like that. Okay.
And then you can be like, yeah, well, Alinor is still around. Just like, fuck it, I'm gonna revive Numidium.
And creating. What is it? So once he's out, knows his people are dead, where he is, and what happened to his laboratory, or to the best of the player's knowledge, what would he want at that point? I mean, he's a Daedric Lord. He's been a Daedric Lord Daedric Prince for years, thousands of years now. Would he, A, just fucking slaughter them, attempt to slaughter them right up the gate?
Okay, idea. So the idea of the Numidium in the first place was to basically just
Ascend.
wipe. It was to wipe reality entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So what if, because he's now a Daedric Lord, he kind of can skip the middleman and kind of just jump to the conclusion?
I don't want to pull Numidium into this.
No.
I don't want to have it be like massive stakes. You know, it's like if the player fails here, everything's ruined. But if the player fails there, everything's ruined. Or if the player fails there, everything's ruined.
No, it wouldn't be Numidium. It would be like he's just a Dwemer that's like trying to finish what the original Dwemer started with Numidium, but because now he's a Daedric Lord, he can basically just skip the whole Numidium process and just kind of do it himself.
That'd be interesting. One sec. Sorry. That's kind of the thing is, would this guy still want to destroy everything?
I would say he would be more along the lines of...
What if he wants to create an airship and go to the Red Mountain? That's his goal. Go to the Red Mountain and continue the work on the Numidium, on Arkulikon.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Because he doesn't know that it would be gone at that point, you know?
I would say I wouldn't. No,
and then you could have a final battle on a fucking airship, and Fusra him off. That'd be cool.
No airships. I wouldn't do airships. It sounds cool, but I don't think that would work well.
Probably not.
But like what I'm saying is like, what if he? Because like I'm trying to avoid like world-ending situation here, but
I get it. It's like small stakes, but still something that like a 25 to 40th level character should be worrying about.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, we already had like Alduin, so we wouldn't need to have anything super.
That's
fancy.
an interesting idea. Maybe he wants to take over Apocrypha, but the thing is, you know, it's not necessarily a quest for knowledge with them, because for the Dwemer's motivations were unknown.
See, I really do want to say just he wants to try and reset. He wants to try and reset, but it would like cause an issue.
Maybe with his knowledge as a Daedric Prince.
I don't know. Would that be out of the realms of okay? Because it's like the guy from fucking Mirak. It's like his whole fucking deal was, I'm gonna bring the dragons back and we're gonna destroy Nirn or whatever the fuck.
No.
Or was it just that island? It was just that
I think
island,
it could have been any number of things. I don't remember. I actually kind of like that. But what if, now that he knows his race is dead, his goal is to reset the universe so he can stop them from going back to and doing Lord Kulikon and messing with Lorcan's heart. Like, his goals are not to destroy the world,
I wouldn't
but to
mess with
save
that.
his race.
I wouldn't mess with that. I would more or less do it. See, it's
He's
like,
gonna fail. Like, it's a desperate ploy.
well, I would do it where it's like, because it's like, okay, Daedric Prince, capable of many things. Like,
I don't know
I
if
would.
I don't know if time works the same way for Daedric princes.
Well, I mean, okay, Daedric Prince with the ability to understand tonal architecture. So
Yeah.
it's like that's a very dangerous thing on its own. So it's like,
His goal could be to reset again, just like the rest
like,
of the Dwemer.
what if it was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if it was just like completely wipe universe, rebuild it with the idea of what the Dwemer assumed,
That
like, everything should be. Because because at that point you can basically.
I mean, instead of going that level, what if instead of resetting the universe to do that, he takes the universe as it is, and his goal is, instead of resetting the universe, it's to take over
craft it to
every
his
realm of oblivion, and ascend to
It's
Aedra, and to become not just a god, but like the god, the only one left. Like, I mean, and then he would have their Dwemer beliefs. He would be the Numidium.
No.
What if that's the thing? He gets sent back in time and becomes the Numidium. That was dumb. That was a meme. That was a meme.
Memeing. What if it was like? What if he was like gonna try and like craft
a perfect realm?
Like the world, like, yeah. What if he was to use Nirn as like a perfect realm? Like,
he already has his own realm, and in his opinion, that's probably perfect. What if he's just trying to merge his realm into Nirn?
Could do that, I guess. Like, I don't know, how populated is this island?
Aldas? Not super.
Yeah.
Couple hundred people at most.
Could do that. He's trying to bring his
realm into this island.
Yeah,
to merge them.
Yeah, onto that island, and it would result.
Or to, I don't think he'd be trying to undo anything. You know, given that his knowledge, hi Methodiel, given his knowledge of the planes of existence, however that works in Elder Scrolls and all that, he wants to create like a tether for the planes, so he can bring his plane into this realm. You know, maybe like in his mind, he's thinking floating city, kind of like, you know, maybe he hears through the grapevine about the floating city, and he's thinking, what if I did that? That could be cool.
I'd avoid anything floating.
It wouldn't be successful. Again, it'd just be an idea. Again, this is his goal. Is not going to be like he makes it and it goes with that. Like, his goal is to create a floating city, which is fine. But
I would do something along the lines of like him trying to bring whatever to reality.
His realm back into reality is the idea, is bring his realm into this reality of Nirn.
Destroy the island or whatever. I don't know.
I don't think his goal would be to destroy the island.
Not destroy the island, but like to replace it with.
Yes, at the very least, replace this island and then expand from there. In the end, his reality his realm would take over the reality of Nirn. Is probably his goal. Yay? Nay? Because all the Dwemer wanted to, you know, they wanted to Thanos snap the universe.
Let's see here.
I mean, his goal could still be to Thanos snap the universe. Because we already know that the Daedra can't do that, necessarily. Yeah, as far as I recall, Daedra can't, you know, just like, they can't really mess with Nirn. But since he didn't believe in the Daedra thing, he doesn't know that yet. So this is
he gets to the end of his plan only to realize he can't do it.
he gets there and he's like, what the? And then it's like that moment in Endgame. He's like, ah, fuck. And then he just gets pulled out back into his realm of oblivion. He gets banished after realizing, oh shit, I can't do that. Well, all right.
I want to say it's like the ending would be taking place inside of his realm.
Oh, absolutely. So you banish him from Nirn, and then you go to his realm to defeat him finally and destroy it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Although that's kind of following the same formula for the main quest line of Skyrim.
Thing is, would you want to be exactly like Skyrim?
That's kind of why I was thinking you just banish him to his realm and then that's it. Oh, what if his realm is actually kept within that soul gem? That giant soul gem.
Oh, and you break the soul
And
gem?
you break the soul gem and that banishes him. So everyone's like, oh, he's banished, but really his reality is shattered.
Wait a second. Isn't there a fucking Daedra that already has something like that?
Probably.
Soul gem level Skyrim. I know there's a fucking level where it's like you go into a soul gem.
I think that's Oblivion, and I believe it's not a soul gem, it's a dream world.
It's not Oblivion. There is a quest in Skyrim where you go into like a soul gem. Actually, this might be the Dragonborn DLC, I think. You go into
a book in Dragonborn.
You go into this like parallel reality where you have to kill this guy because he has whatever the fuck, and
Pretty sure that's Dragonborn.
any of the 4 people watching know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Azura's Star.
Azura's Star Skyrim level.
Black Star Quest. Destroy Malin Varen's soul.
Yeah. Damn you, Bethesda. How did you come up with an idea that's
Good?
good? Kind of like, just, I don't know.
Yeah, so the Black Star is where you go into a soul gem. It is his realm in the soul gem.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of similar to that. But his realm isn't, soul gemmy.
What
Like-
if it was...
The soul gem is the tether for his realm. It's what keeps it
What if-
anchored to something.
What if it was a tonal orb or something like that?
Like the soul gem is used as something to be tonal?
The soul gem could be used as like a power source for the thing. Okay, so like bear with me here. So you have like tonal architecture orb thing that's like in the middle of the room, okay? Like
Yeah.
that's like the portal between.
It's essentially the sigil stone.
Yeah, so it's like this giant orb sort deal thing that is like, this is like the warp gate between the worlds.
Yeah.
And then the soul gem could be like the main power source of that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think that would work.
Because then you have an excuse to have the soul gem but not copy Skyrim's quest directly.
Would it be more of a pocket dimension rather than an Oblivion realm?
It would probably be more of a pocket dimension.
Although, then he's no longer Daedric at that point and just kind of a dickhead with power. And I think...
I mean, you just summed up all of Elder Scrolls.
I really did. I think having it originally have been a pocket dimension, and then as he was, he made his pocket dimension ahead of time, started fucking around with shit, ascended to Daedric princedom, and then that pocket dimension became a realm of oblivion. Or, he was experimenting with it with the tonal frequencies of Daedric artifacts, or in, stuff like that in Dremora, like they were summoning Dremora and experimenting on them. Ends up shattering his realm into like 2 or 3 pieces, and he gets sucked into it, and it all recoalesces into an oblivion realm.
Sure.
All right.
The people who are helping you on this project are gonna be like, "What the fuck is all this shit?"
I mean, this is just the main quest line, and it has the general concept, aside from the Lich thing, has changed very little. It still revolves around Dwemer, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It was shattered into several pieces, and due to Zargle experimenting on various conjured Daedra. What if during his experiments on conjured Daedra and Dremora, he was slain after his pocket dimension was shattered, and it all recoalesced after him because once he was slain. Because the giant soul gem, it sucked his soul in, recoalesced, so now it is the tether for his realm of oblivion. Like I said before, so you still have to destroy it.
I don't know. Couldn't give you an answer. You may want to look up mantling if you haven't already.
Mantling for
Daedra. Just look up mantling Elder Scrolls. It basically describes how one becomes a Daedra.
It's not the mushroom architecture. It's tonal architecture. So that's like literally singing to the universe, as Sex described it, like putting sounds out that the universe then listens to and responds to.
Yeah, so in basically the best way I can describe it is the Numidium that was built by the Dwemer originally. The way it works is that it has a very powerful energy source that reverbs off the Numidium, and then the Numidium, quote unquote, sings to the universe, and then the universe responds back to the Numidium with whatever, and depending on what happened with what, it could cause rips and tears in reality, which is exactly what the Numidium did. So it's so, and like that's the whole premise of what the Dwemer like everything that the Dwemer have touched and everything has some form of tonal architecture involved with it. So like like all their ore and everything, all their robots and all that sort of stuff, it's all built using tonal architecture as its prime source of usage. So, yeah. It's this really weird theoretical like setup and whatnots, and it's just Elder Scrolls doesn't really talk about it all that much. I believe tonal architecture is also used by the towers and whatnot.
The Alien towers.
None the towers like the gold white tower,
What
whatever
are
the fuck that was called.
the Welkind and other stone? What is it?
The what?
The Vulcan stones, and the other one.
The welcome.
Oblivion, the alien like soul gemstones that can refill your magic or your magic weapons.
I don't think those are anything really. I don't think they serve a purpose other than. Magical stones with a metal inlay at their base, created by the Iliads.
Varlos stone is the other one.
These items can recharge magicka if it is selected in the inventory. Yeah, so all they are is just magicka potions.
Pretty much.
So yeah, basically tonal architecture is it's the same shit that the Thume is. It's just the Thume is a very
Specific way of using it.
a very specific undamaging way of using it. Like it's just not perfected at all. So it's like the Thume
It's
would be
raw.
like it's just pure raw energy, but like tonal architecture itself
So
is
it wouldn't
like
be out of the realm of possibility to make it so you have to use a shout to destroy the soul gem.
yeah, you could.
I mean that'd be a cool way to do it.
It would. Yeah.
Especially if we actually have like a piece of paper that says that. Like or someone says it in game. I'm not sure if it's referred to or compared at all.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, no, this is exactly why the Dwemer ruins are still functioning thousands of years after they disappeared, because tonal architecture is just unbreakable.
Yeah, the Ethereum quest does use tonal architecture, I believe.
Yeah, no, the Ethereum quest does use it. It's like I did say, it's basically as long as if the Dwemer made it, the Dwemer probably utilized tonal architecture and therefore completely abused the shit out of it.
I was gonna say it could be something like a Varla stone or something like that, but a soul gem will probably be the best way to tether this idea. It'll like since there's already a soul gem mine there, I can tether that into the storyline. You know, it kind of works out. So maybe by them mining the soul gems is then creating the constructs that are coming out and attacking them in the other mines.
Huh.
Because technically it's all connected. Like this isn't like a single bit, just really big soul gem. It's like the entire vein of soul gems is being used as the tether, the root for this new realm of oblivion.
Yeah.
Without this, that realm shatters.
trying to find it, but
So it's literally using Nern as a tether for itself. I like that. That's cool. And because it's mined, and it's all hooked up to their machines. Every time they hit it, it powers up. Sorry, again, hit the mic. It powers it up, and it just kind of is an endless cycle. Every time they mine a new soul gem, they power up everything else. And Mazargal hears it. It's like, what the fuck? Like if someone took a I like what this is headed in my brain. So do you think Mazargal would ask the player for help in bringing his realm to Nirn, or would he just kind of like banish them somewhere for the player and like send them somewhere else, and then start his work?
I don't know. Somewhere. I'm assuming maybe he'd send them somewhere in his realm.
Yeah, he'd banish at least the player to his realm. Player would have to find a way out. Would learn about the fact that this is now that. What it is now, and would probably end up speaking to a Dwemer ghost or something or other. Have to do a little bit of realm hopping, recolor Dwemer constructs, soul gems.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recolor Dwemer constructs to look like soul gems at all, because the Dwemer constructs are powered by soul gems already. It is just a proper construct facility. They are created there. Still, there's no reason to make them look like soul gems. I was gonna make them originally look like orichalcum. I was gonna make them green. But I like where this is going now.
Well, this has been fun, but I am going to go.
That's fair. Go sleep. Rest well.
See you around.
Later. Alright. Will, I feel like, for some reason, Mazargal would ask for help. Well, would ask the player to do something first, before then betraying the player and sending them to his realm. I'm not sure quite what that would be. So there's already going to be a requirement that you'll have to have started the Dragon Quest lines. You'll have to have. I'll probably make it so you have to have killed Alduin before this quest will be available to you. Just so you have certain shouts fully available to you. You'll return to Nern. The player will be... What's the furthest one away? I don't know. So... Vorkal will be under the mountain, under White Ridge, through a giant cavern. You'll be able to find it, at least part of it, like the... Okay. I'm thinking too far ahead. But where will the player arrive? He could be in the center of this and drop into the lake. That could be cool. Fall from the sky into the lake. I actually kind of like that idea. Lake Barrack. We'll put a question mark there if we're going to keep that. Now, would this be a thing if the player and Bastion should be sent there? Or just the player? And then Bastion is sent somewhere else? Or he's killed, possibly? Depending on the player's actions, could be interesting. Yeah, we'll keep it just the player goes to Novsrin before this. Once you fall into the sky, into Lake Barrack, have to go back to Vorkal and fight. Yeah, I mean... Okay. That's a pretty good quest line. You get to Last Shore. You go through some Dwemer cities. You resummon a Dwemer scientist, now a ascended Daedra lore prince. I'm gonna turn this music up a little bit. You get banished to this Daedric prince's realm of oblivion. You find your way out of that realm. And after you find your way out of the realm, you go kill the Daedric prince. I think that's a good, solid quest line. I don't know if there's much else we can add to it. I mean, we can always add more. So 7 quests right now. We could probably add more depending on this middle section where, you know, the player goes to the other dungeons. We could add a couple more in between here and summoning Mazargal. Actually, he'll ask you for help, so that's going to be another quest here. Assist Mazargal. Assist Mazargal in completing some form of goal. What would he ask the player to do in some form of goal before... Or being banished before he banishes player to his realm of Navzrin. I'll figure out what you do for Mizargol later. That's probably a multi-quest, fetch quest type of deal. Go find research notes. That could be like a 2 or 3 part quest that the player has to do before being banished and then fighting. Part of me still wants to have a fight on an airship, but I'm good without. Copy link. I'm going to share this over in the Discord. Alright, I think that's good, actually. I've sent the quest line over to my writers. We'll iterate on it a bit. But I think that's the stream, y'all. It's been about 4 hours. That's a good stream. I mean, it's nowhere near the 10 fucking hour stream we did before, but it's fine. We got a good bit done. Viewership was nowhere near the 10 hour stream, but it's fine. Not a big deal. I'm excited to see where this goes. It was a good start for the main quest line, and we'll figure out from here where it's all going to go and how long it'll end up being. But 8 quests is more than enough. I think that's a good number based on the 6 to 14. It's about the middle range number. I think it is actually the same amount. It was just 1 quest less than the College of Winterhold quest line, which I think is good. This will give us a good base to work from. But that's all the time we have for this morning. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for showing up, chatting with me. It's been great. Lovely talking to you all. I cannot wait to start the level design for these locations, start writing the dialogue up, which, by the way, we got some spicy dialogue sheets here, which you're going to be using, and I will have to modify the arrangement of my UI here. We'll go back to the slightly less sized stuff for that when we get to this location. I'm excited. Wow, it's perfect here. I'm excited to see the directions that this mod will take and the ways it'll come and arrive, and that's an innuendo. What the fuck? I'm excited. I'm ready to see how this all goes. I think I might try to get a couple more writers on board. So, 1 or 2 more. We'll see. But, again, thank you all for tuning in. It's been great having you. And, as always, stay moist. Bye, everybody.